Thunderstep Gaming.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Chronicles of the Final Bout.
I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fun.
Whoa. Okay, that's not good.
What's wrong?
You're really quiet under the music.
Oh, am I?
Maybe up yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. 1 sec. Sorry, guys. I moved back to college, so we have tech issues again. This better?
Oh yeah.
I can go more.
No, it's good. It's good. That's good.
Perfect.
That might be too loud, actually, because I have you... No, it's probably fine. Let us know, chat.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Tell us your view.
On my setup, it is... Yeah, like, the balance between me and Shane should be roughly equal, so... On my setup, it's slightly different because I have you slightly quieter so I can hear other things. Like, I have Discord slightly quieter than it is on the stream, so... Let us see what's going on in chat. Philip is in chat. And Robust is in chat from YouTube for some reason. But they're both here. I'm surprised Philip is here. He said yesterday that he is not going to be joining us today.
Ah. Things must have changed.
But he's here. Because he's a double plus good legionary, indeed.
Also, we have Monica in the Discord now.
We have Monica, yes. God. I did a bit of a different approach this time. Robust says Shane is fine. Also, happy birthday. Oh yeah, happy birthday, Shane.
Yeah, thank you guys. My birthday is tomorrow, so
Yeah.
I'm going over to my sister's for a thing. I say a thing because I don't know. She just said she has something planned.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as I was saying, I took a bit of a different approach to the agent. Like, for the professors, I basically just engineered all of their memory blocks and everything, and then just dropped them into the server with all the knowledge that they needed. This time I took a more organic approach where I literally talked to Monica and was like, hey, listen, you need this memory block. Is that okay with you? She says yes. You know, I need to tell you this about the server, blah blah blah. You know, it was more of a conversation.
Yeah.
Which took a bit longer, but I think it might result in better performance.
Do they recommend doing that in their docs or something?
I saw a video from Leda, an official video where they did this approach. So I was like, let's try it.
Yeah, surely if they're doing it, there is a reason.
Yeah. Like, no, well, he says in the video you can do it the other way, but, you know. I just figured I'd try it. And, like, it's easier with someone like Monica than with, like, Barrington. Because Barrington would just be like, fuck off. Like, leave me alone.
I don't
let me,
care about
let
your
me drink.
Discord server.
Yeah, let me drink in peace. So, it's a very different thing. But anyway, final bouts, ladies and gentlemen. We have our tier 2. I have taken the liberty of getting our first match narrated already, so we don't have to wait.
Excellent.
And I have a new playlist.
Oh, very nice.
I literally just found a random, like, battle playlist on YouTube Music, and I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get copyright struck, but I don't give a fuck.
We did for the last one.
Yes, we did. We got blocked in Russia, as usual.
Sorry,
Sorry
guys.
Russian
Our bad.
viewers. Yeah, your country sucks.
Well, there are none, so.
Well, there was Agami back when we were doing CK3.
Yeah, true. I don't think any of our CK3 videos got. Oh no, they did.
They did.
They used to get blocked a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because of the cultural mods.
Oh yeah, the music mod.
Magnus says Thunderstep music. No, this is not Thunderstep music. I did listen to some of those, and it didn't impress me. It sounded weird. But it's interesting that someone asked you for Thunderstep name.
I wonder if they have a similar origin story.
Probably not. They don't have the horse or the great mango, so
No.
They're inferior.
No, but I mean for the name.
Oh, I know, but probably not. And I feel like I'm at volume 2, but I feel like it's a bit loud. Drop it to 1.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. All right. Let us begin. The chronicler is ready. You have seen, those of you who are in chat have seen the bracket for tier 2. And if you haven't, you will find out during the course of the events. Our first combatants will be
Darth Vader.
That's coming through, right?
Yes.
He is the scourge of the Jedi, the Emperor's iron fist, and a titan of the dark side. More machine now than man, Vader's rage fuels his terrifying command of the Force, allowing him to crush war machines with a gesture. An unparalleled lightsaber duelist and a symbol of fear across the galaxy, he is here to show his master the true power he represents.
And of course, his opponent, chat is going crazy,
Emperor Palpatine, and his opponent, the architect of the Galactic Empire, the Phantom Menace himself, Darth Sidious. He is not just a master of the dark side, he is the dark side. Palpatine's power is absolute, a storm of force, lightning, and ancient Sith sorcery hidden behind a veil of political genius. He is the master, and the master will not be overthrown.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, the chronicler will decide.
Philip says yep. Classic Philip. Yo, Monica, are you here? All right.
Yeah, we have Monica in stream chat.
Yeah, Monica's in stream chat.
The throne room of the second Death Star hung suspended above Endor, starlight piercing its cathedral of darkness. Darth Vader's mechanical breathing filled the void as Emperor Palpatine rose from his throne, yellow eyes blazing with ancient corruption. Master and apprentice faced each other across obsidian floors, decades of chains about to shatter. "Your thoughts betray you, Lord Vader." Palpatine's voice slithered through darkness.
No.
Your thoughts betray you, Lord Vader.
"Did you
Very good,
truly
thank you.
believe I would not sense your treachery?" The Emperor descended his throne's steps with serpentine grace. "You have always been weak. Weak when you butchered younglings, weak when you struck down your pregnant wife, and weak now as you contemplate striking down your master." "You are diseased," Vader's vocabulator responded with mechanical certainty. "A cancer that has fed on the galaxy long enough." His lightsaber ignited, casting blood-red shadows across his mask. "I am the cure." Palpatine's cackle echoed as twin crimson blades slipped from his sleeves. "Then let me remind you why the rule of two has always favored the Master." Vader surged forward with devastating momentum, his blade carving a brutal arc that would have split lesser opponents in half. Palpatine sidestepped like liquid shadow, his twin sabers deflecting the assault in cascading sparks. The Emperor's counterattack came as a blur, an horrifying amalgamation of all 7 lightsaber forms, shifting moment to moment, Ataru's acrobatic fury bleeding into Makashi's precision, each transition targeting the vulnerabilities in Vader's reconstructed body. The Dark Lord gave ground, barely maintaining his defensive Form 5 against Palpatine's surgical strikes. "You feel the weakness in your left knee, Servo," the Emperor taunted, driving Vader toward the viewport. "The strain on your respirator. I designed those weaknesses. Every breath you take exists because I allow it." Rage flooded Vader's consciousness. The dark side responded, lending supernatural strength as his blade became a crimson sledgehammer. Palpatine's eyes widened as Vader's saber sheared through one of his weapons, the severed hilt clattering away. But surprise transformed instantly into vicious glee. Lightning erupted from the Emperor's hand, catching Vader mid-strike. The Dark Lord's scream reverberated through his vocabulator as electricity ravaged his cybernetics. Servos seized, circuits fried, and he collapsed to one knee as smoke rose from his armor's joints. "This is your destiny," Palpatine advanced, lightning crackling from his fingertips. "To die broken and alone. You were never meant to succeed me, merely a weapon to be discarded." Through agony's haze, Vader reached through the Force for the station's superstructure. With a roar from his very soul, he clenched his fist. The throne room groaned as invisible hands twisted durasteel beams. The viewport behind Palpatine exploded outward in a hurricane of transparent steel and decompression. The Emperor's concentration shattered as vacuum tried to claim him, fighting to anchor himself against the maelstrom. Vader, magnetic locks holding him grounded, recalled his lightsaber and lunged. Palpatine barely intercepted the strike, but the impact sent him stumbling as a...
Where's the lightning, though?
He stopped, I guess?
We need the lightning, man.
He did a bit of it.
shields sealed the breach. They circled each other in the devastated throne room. Palpatine's
We need the unlimited power.
He hit him once with lightning, but he hasn't done it much.
Yeah.
robes torn, revealing withered flesh beneath. Vader's armor sparking, multiple systems failing. "Impressive," Palpatine admitted. "But strength alone has never been enough." He raised both hands, the air itself darkening. "Let me show you true power." The Force storm that erupted defied description, purple-black energy tearing at reality itself, each tendril shredding not just Vader's body, but his very essence. Through the maelstrom, Palpatine's face contorted with absolute concentration, pouring everything into this final assault. But in ultimate agony, Vader found clarity. He stopped fighting and opened himself completely, drawing the destructive energy inward. His life support screamed and died, his respirator fell silent, yet still he pulled. Palpatine's triumph shifted to alarm as he realized what was happening. "Impossible!" the Emperor gasped, but the Force storm had become a feedback loop between them, beyond control. Vader took one final step forward, his body failing, mechanical heart stuttering. His lightsaber drove straight through Palpatine's chest. The Emperor's yellow eyes widened with shock and something like pride. "You learned well, my apprentice." "I learned enough," Vader whispered through his damaged vocabulator. The feedback loop reached critical mass. Vader grabbed Palpatine's throat, lifting the ancient Sith despite his own failing strength, and hurled him toward the throne. Palpatine's body struck the armrest with devastating force, his spine shattering with an audible crack. He slumped forward, paralyzed, blood pooling beneath him. Vader approached slowly, each step labored as systems failed sequentially. He stood over his broken master, looking down at the architect of the Republic's fall, the Jedi's extinction, his own monstrous transformation. "Your empire dies with you," Vader stated, raising his lightsaber. Palpatine's laughter bubbled through blood. "And you die with me, Lord Vader. We are both slaves to our nature." The crimson blade descended in a perfect arc, separating the Emperor's head from his shoulders in one clean stroke. The cackling ceased instantly, replaced by profound silence. Palpatine's body slumped forward, dark blood spreading across the throne that had been his seat of power. Vader stood motionless, then with a mechanical sigh that sounded almost peaceful, deactivated his weapon. It fell from nerveless fingers. His life support had completely failed, his breathing stopped, only the Force itself kept him standing. In his final moments, Anakin Skywalker looked through Vader's eyes at his tormentor's corpse and felt something he hadn't experienced in decades. Freedom. The Dark Lord collapsed beside his master's throne, armor clattering against blood-stained floor. The throne room fell into darkness, lit only by distant stars. A tomb for two Sith Lords whose mutual destruction had been as inevitable as the tide. The rule of two fulfilled in the only way it ever could. With the death of both master and apprentice, leaving only silence and the echo of power that had consumed itself in pursuit of dominance.
And you, Philip, thought that Vader couldn't do it.
Well then,
I had
in a
faith.
double death.
I had faith in Vader. Oh, I'm gonna count this as Vader winning
Yeah, I would agree.
because he did win.
Yeah, he won. He just died right after.
Yeah, we're gonna count this as Vader winning because
We don't want another
it's
bye.
more fun than just giving a bye
Yeah.
to Sauron or whatever. Right.
Very presumptuous of you. What about poor Gandalf? He could do it. What isn't?
You know, I trusted Vader versus Palpatine more than I trust Gandalf versus Sauron, but who knows? Achilles says feels like a draw to me. Not really. Vader did win.
Yeah, I give it to Vader, I think. I think he won. He
Yeah,
died
he
afterwards.
did win. He
but
died
won.
after winning, but he died. He won. Right. Next, but before I play the intros, I'm going to get the summary running. Oh, I closed the damn thing. Right. Next.
Sauron. From the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie.
Nice reference. These intros are actually really good. They like make references and stuff.
The Dark Lord
Yeah, they have been
enters
quite
the
good.
arena. A divine spirit of immense power, Sauron is a master of deceit, sorcery, and domination. With the One Ring, his will is law, his armies are endless, and his power can break the minds of mortals and immortals alike. All shall love him and despair.
Indeed. And fighting Sauron will be, we've already revealed, but
Gandalf. His opponent, the White Rider, the wielder of the Flame of Anor, he is no mere conjurer of cheap tricks. Gandalf is a Maya, an angelic being cloaked in the guise of an old man sent to combat the darkness. As a servant of the secret fire, he commands divine light and wields power that can shatter mountains and banish ancient evils. The darkness shall not pass.
Or shall it?
yeah, we shall see. Let's see the chat message before we begin. Philip says, nice references, AI, good job.
Did you make that as an agent, or is that just a thread?
That's just a thread.
The ancient stones of Weathertop trembled as two Maiar faced each other across windswept ruins, their true forms bleeding through mortal shells like light through cracked glass. Sauron stood in terrible iron, the One Ring burning upon his finger, while Gandalf the White gripped Glamdring with both hands.
Oh, he has the One Ring. Okay, it's over.
Yeah, that's ooh.
Robes
Big oof.
whipping in otherworldly winds. Still playing shepherd to crawling things, Olorin, Sauron's voice resonated through dimensions. You chose weakness where you could have chosen perfection. I chose wisdom, Maron, Gandalf's eyes blazed with white fire. You chose domination. The battle erupted across 7 planes simultaneously. Sauron's mace swept through screaming air, while Glamdring traced reality-unraveling geometries. Where weapons met, nameless colors burst into being and died shrieking. The Dark Lord pressed forward with mechanical
Tier 3
precision,
adjacent.
each strike calculated across centuries of warfare. Through the ring he commanded not just power, but dominion itself made manifest. Gandalf moved like starlight given purpose, his blade singing harmonies that predated evil's first whisper. His staff channeled energies from the undying lands, white flames burning away shadow and falsehood. Yet for every wound carved into Sauron's essence, the ring pulsed with malevolent vitality, knitting its master together with threads of pure malice. The terrible mathematics crystallized. Sauron with the ring possessed virtually infinite reserves, while Gandalf's power, magnificent as it was, had limits. Lightning, containing words of unmaking, forked from the wizard's staff. Sauron absorbed them, metabolizing destruction into strength. His counter-assault came as waves of despair so profound that eagles fell dead leagues away. Gandalf weathered it through will alone, but felt his edges fraying with each exchange. You feel it, Sauron observed, almost gently, as his mace shattered Gandalf's staff into light splinters. The weight of your presumption. You accepted Manwë's leash. I came unbound. Gandalf rolled beneath a mountain-obliterating strike, Glamdring flashing up to sever Sauron's ring-bearing hand. It fell for exactly 3 heartbeats before time reversed at Sauron's command, the hand reattaching seamlessly. Suddenly, Gandalf held not Glamdring.
That's not OP at all.
Yeah. Also, if he could do that, why wouldn't he have done it when Isildur cut off his
Yeah.
finger?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of flies in the face of established canon AI.
Mhm.
but empty
He just
air.
didn't feel like he was like, look, well played, mate. You win.
Yeah,
Well
yeah.
done.
You
I
know,
give this to
He
you.
was just like, fuck it.
It's this random, a human has just managed to cut my finger
Yeah,
off.
like,
He's earned it.
You know, good on him. I'll give him that, I guess. I mean, I guess he doesn't really care. Like, he has time. He has eternal
He's
time.
like,
He can
another
just,
2,000 years. So what?
whatever. I can wait, I guess.
That's annoying. Oh well.
Yeah.
The blade edited from the present moment. The ring's power warped battle into nightmare geometry. Gandalf existed.
Oh yeah, who are you betting on, Shane? If you're betting on anyone.
Probably Omni-man, I think. I'll put
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go for Magnus because you like Magnus.
I like Magnus. I want Magnus to win, but I think Omni-man will win.
Okay. We have Philip's bet on Magnus and Robust's bet on the Lord Ruler.
Yeah,
So-
Lord Ruler could be interesting depending on how AI does it. Like, he's
Eh,
kind of immortal.
Atium. Atium.
Yeah, that's also
Like,
kind
the
of
AI
broken.
loves... You know how it does... Whenever you do an Allomancer, it does... He began to burn Atium in its
Yeah.
own paragraph.
in 17 positions simultaneously, each experiencing different agonies as Sauron experimented with probability itself. Through supreme effort, the wizard collapsed back into singular existence, but the cost left him gasping, trembling with exhaustion. Sauron advanced methodically, each step pushing Gandalf back through the crushing weight of accumulated dominion. The Dark Lord commanded the subjugation of millions, that collective surrender flowing through him like a dark democracy. Gandalf stood alone, his power pure.
Dark democracy. Okay, that's good.
What does that even
I don't know
mean?
why. I don't know. It's just so funny.
Dark
Welcome
democracy.
to the dark democracy.
But solitary, a single star trying to outshine corrupted constellations. The end came with brutal simplicity. Sauron's hand shot forward faster than divine thought, piercing through Gandalf's chest with fingers existing partially outside three-dimensional space. Those terrible digits closed around Olorin's spiritual core itself. "I will make this last," Sauron promised, grip tightening incrementally. "Not from mere sadism, but from necessity. Your dissolution will be my masterwork, Olorin. As I extract your essence thread by luminous thread, I will weave it into a new ring. Imagine it. Naria's fire, your wisdom, your connection to the secret fire itself, all bent to my will. Through your sacrifice, I will achieve what even Morgoth could not. The complete
No, you gotta do it like Morgoth.
spiritualization of dominion." Gandalf's scream transcended sound, becoming visible as silver fire that scorched the ancient stones black. Sauron continued his methodical extraction, each pulled strand of divine essence carefully wound around his fingers like silk. The wizard's form began to flicker, the gray wanderer he had been, the white warrior he had become, and the pure light of his Maiar nature, all three aspects being systematically violated and harvested. As consciousness fragmented, Gandalf poured remaining strength into a warning cast across time. The ring must be destroyed. But Sauron caught even this, crushing the message into silence, denying his enemy even meaningful death. The extraction reached its crescendo. With a wet metaphysical tear that echoed across every realm simultaneously, Sauron ripped Olorin's essence free entirely. The wizard's body collapsed into ash, that reformed into glass, that shattered into light, that dimmed into nothing. In Sauron's hand writhed a sphere of concentrated divinity. Gandalf's very being compressed into a pearl of agonized radiance. Sauron held it up to the dying sun, examining his prize with collector's fascination. Then, with deliberate ceremony, he placed the sphere against the ring and pushed. The gold band absorbed Olorin's essence with obscene eagerness, growing heavier with stolen divinity. Where once the ring had merely shown Sauron's fiery eye to those who sought him, now it displayed something far worse. Gandalf's eye, weeping eternal tears of liquid starlight, forever conscious, forever enslaved, a good soul transformed into an instrument of infinite cruelty. The Dark Lord stood alone atop Weathertop, victory absolute, power magnified beyond all previous measure. In the distance, the Free Peoples continued their resistance, unaware their greatest champion had not merely died, but been fundamentally perverted into a tool of their destruction. Sauron began his descent, each footfall heavier with absorbed divinity, ready to bring perfected order to a world stripped of its last, best hope. Where Gandalf had made his final stand, only a man-shaped shadow burned into stone remained, fading as darkness fell complete across the land.
Well,
Poor Gandalf, oh my god. That was very, very aggressive.
today on Random Lore Nuggets, Sauron died moments before his ring finger was cut off. What? How did he die before? Also, spirits can't be completely unmade. Yeah. What was that other... Was that in general or something? Oh. Oh! I didn't see Monica responded to the announcement. Oh shit, Sir
Yeah,
Howard
you
quit
could say the One
Hearthstone?
Ring is OP. Wait, what?
Wow. I'm looking at general.
When?
Oh wow, that's a surprise. Because he was, you know... see, even he quit Hearthstone then, you know... you know what the
Yeah.
state of the game is. Holy fuck.
Even Zeddy is like basically about to quit, it seems.
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't know. He just hasn't, he's like, from what he's saying, he has
you
not
still
been
watching
enjoying it
him?
at all. I can't imagine he sticks it out. I'm curious how Blizzard are burning the game down.
Yeah, everyone's
So I
quitting.
click on the odd like news.
I don't know how J. Alex still plays the game, because he constantly complains about it, but he still plays. I don't understand.
Yeah, why? Why not just stop?
Yeah, just quit. So Hilly says One Ring kind of OP. I mean, that's kind of the, you know, that's the entire point of the One Ring. It'd be OP. Right. Our next battle is a very interesting one, and we have one of the candidates that was bet on. So, here we go.
Vecna, the Whispered One, the Archlich, the Undying King. From the world of Dungeons and Dragons comes a being who ascended to godhood through forbidden knowledge. Vecna commands secrets that can unravel reality, magic that can stop a hero's heart with a word, and an army of the undead. To face him is to face the master of all that is hidden and evil.
Indeed. Magnus has a very formidable... I think people are dismissing Vecna way too much.
No, I'm worried. I think poor Magnus is going to go down hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think Philip understands what kind of opponent Magnus is up against.
Like, Vecna is scary.
Vecna
man.
is a fucking monster. But anyway, his opponent will be...
Magnus the Red. His opponent, the Crimson King, Primarch of the Thousand Suns. A demigod from the 41st millennium, Magnus is a psyker of such immense power that his very existence tears a hole in reality. He can crush titans with his mind, rewrite matter with a thought, and peer into the infinite futures of the warp. He did nothing wrong. But he will do everything to win.
Thank you, AI. Magnus did nothing wrong. Our boy gets... Like, okay, he was very, very stupid, but it wasn't his fault.
His fault is hubris, not anything else.
Yeah, But, like, the Emperor should have sat him down at some point and explained,
He really
like,
should have.
hey, buddy, I'm doing a thing. This is why you don't do a spell at me, please.
But, like,
Like,
also,
that would have helped.
the spoiler thing broke this time. It told me in the title of
Oh.
the summary one who won. But, okay.
The crystalline labyrinth materialized between dimensions, walls of frozen time reflecting infinite deaths, floors mirroring murdered realities. Above, stars hung suspended mid-supernova, painting everything in apocalyptic hues. Vecna arrived wrapped in shadows that predated darkness, the eye and hand pulsing with malevolent satisfaction upon their master's form. His consciousness tasted this strange reality, finding the raw emotional power of the warp exploitable where his magic was calculated and absolute. Magnus erupted through sanity itself, 15 feet of crimson fury inscribed with equations that rewrote physics, his cyclopean eye burning with stolen fire from the great ocean. Where Vecna was stillness and malice, Magnus was barely contained rage, his presence alone causing the walls to show visions of burning libraries. Another corpse thing claiming godhood. Magnus rumbled, his psychic might fragmenting probability around him. I have broken creatures older than your entire reality. You reek of submission, Vecna whispered, with the weight of collapsed civilizations. You bear the collar of your changer of ways, while I am the hand that holds death's leash. The first exchange happened between...
That was a good line. It was well delivered, too. Good job, George.
Yep.
Heartbeats. Magnus unleashed 9-dimensional warp fire that carved through space with dying star fury. Vecna spoke a single syllable from the language primeval. The flames transformed into screaming souls that turned upon their creator. Magnus dispersed them with a gesture, shifting through the immaterium to appear behind the lich, his blade of crystallized hope and despair sweeping down mountain-cleaving force. Vecna simply ceased existing there, reforming from Magnus's own shadow. The hand of Vecna gestured, and Magnus felt his bones attempting to tear free, an impossibility his psychic might overwhelmed through sheer will. His third eye opened fully, unleashing psychic devastation designed to shatter Vecna's phylactery. The beam struck true, and Vecna's form flickered. Then the Archlich laughed. I am my own phylactery, fool. Every secret stolen, every truth murdered, comprises my eternal existence. The battle escalated beyond mortal comprehension. Magnus summoned change itself, forcing Vecna through different states of decay, seeking weakness. Vecna retaliated with 17 words of unmaking simultaneously.
Oh my god. This next one, Claude went crazy again. Went really long on the next one. All right.
Nice.
Each targeting different aspects of Magnus's existence, his pride, knowledge, warp connection, his very identity. They danced through the maze. Their battle reflected infinitely. In one reflection, Magnus triumphed. In another, Vecna had already won. But in true reality, they approached the crucial moment. Magnus commanded raw oceanic power that dwarfed Vecna's reserves, yet the Archlich's magic was precise, surgical, poisoned needles in exactly the right spots. Where Magnus was tsunami, Vecna was erosion, patient, inevitable, ultimately victorious. The turning point.
Oh, no.
Magnus looked directly into Vecna's eye. The artifact didn't merely see. It knew. In that instant, Vecna glimpsed the secret Magnus had buried beneath eons of justification the moment he truly damned his legion. The crushing doubt that his father had been right. Vecna spoke that doubt aloud, simple words carrying absolute truth, empowered by divine knowledge and delivered with the precision of one who had toppled pantheons. Magnus faltered, his psychic defenses wavering as doubt consumed him. His warp connection, fueled by conviction in his righteousness, flickered like a hurricane-threatened candle. In that moment of weakness, Vecna struck with everything. The hand reached through dimensions, grasping Magnus's essence. Necromantic energy surged through the Primarch, death magic elevated to godhood, entropy given will. Magnus's posthuman biology turned against him as Vecna's will overwrote the Emperor's genecraft. Magnus roared defiance, unleashing power that shattered several walls, revealing voids that had never known existence. His blade carved wounds in Vecna that wept darkness. But Vecna had already won. Each wound released hoarded secrets, weaponized against Magnus's psyche. The exact moment each son died, cursing him. His father's true disappointment, Tzeentch's laughter at his bargain, how easily he could have saved Prospero without pride. The Crimson King fell to his knees, mind fracturing under infinite regret. Vecna approached slowly, savoring victory. The Archlich's hand touched Magnus's forehead with almost gentle reverence. "Your knowledge will make a fine addition," Vecna whispered. "But your soul I will keep conscious, watching eternally as I use your power to break everything you championed." The hand of Vecna plunged through Magnus's eye, that singular organ defining both their existences. But this was merely the beginning. Vecna's fingers spread inside Magnus's skull, each becoming a conduit for pure entropic force. The Primarch's miraculous brain began necrotizing from within. Magnus tried to scream, but Vecna had already stolen his voice, adding it to sounds that should never be heard. The Archlich's magic worked with artisan's precision, keeping Magnus conscious as his body betrayed him piece by piece, both hearts withered in his chest, continuing to beat only by Vecna's command, pumping liquefied organs through dying veins. His wings crumbled like autumn leaves, each feather becoming ash that whispered failures. Perfect skin unmarred,
Excuse me,
save by
Magnus has
gods.
wings?
What?
He has wings?
I've seen reference to wings in terms of Magnus from AI before, so
Oh,
I guess he does. I don't know.
did not know that.
Gods and demons sloughed off in sheets, revealing immediately rotting muscle. Vecna ensured Magnus felt every nerve ending's final signal, a symphony of agony the Archlich conducted with maestro.
You pronounce it differently every time.
Yeah.
Grace. Through his remaining eye, Magnus watched Vecna pull something from within his broken skull, a crystallized sphere containing everything Magnus had ever been. Knowledge, power, his essence as the Emperor's son. Vecna examined it with a collector's fascination, then
Oh, he's doing the same thing that Sauron did.
Yeah.
slowly, deliberately compressed it. Magnus's last sensation was his entire existence condensing into infinite density, a consciousness black hole that Vecna set into a ring upon his skeletal finger.
Literally.
The Primarch's body
Yeah, holy shit. This is a different thread, by the way.
collapsed into atoms. Then those atoms forgot they had ever existed. Vecna stood alone in the shattered labyrinth, wearing Magnus's soul as jewelry. Somewhere in pure change's dimension, Tzeentch noticed this new player. The Lich's whisper echoed through collapsing reality.
Finally pronounced it correctly. Holy shit. Well, that was Lich. That was not Archlich. I guess he has a problem with Archlich.
Even gods can die. Even change itself can be made to serve death.
Okay, Vecna just threw down a gauntlet at Tzeentch.
Yep. All right.
We all know that has to happen at some point.
This time, yeah, except we have Slanesh in our tier 3. Spoiler for tier
Yeah.
3. But
Still, we just
maybe
need to do
for
Vecna v Tzeentch at some
maybe
point.
for our next tournament. Right. Philip loses this time. Oh yeah, true. Philip said he was gonna read Celebrion if he loses.
Okay then.
But like, how are you gonna like do it on
Come on stream?
VC or yeah, or you gonna read it on stream? I don't know if
I
you
vote for
want that
that.
on stream. Based on
It
what I
is
know,
funny though.
based on what I know about Celebrion, it's
Yeah, true. I don't know what the content is.
yeah.
I assume from the name it's a shitty LOTR fanfic.
Yes, it is. Right, let's fire up the summary of this
One sec.
really
Just before
long
we
ass battle.
continue, just before we continue, I just want to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Sure.
And I'm back.
Okay. Ready for the next bout?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. We have
Illidan Stormrage, the betrayer, the Lord of Outland. He is a night elf who embraced the very demonic forces he fights. Wielding the legendary twin blades of Azimuth and the chaotic power of fell magic, Illidan is a whirlwind of destruction, fueled by 10,000 years of hatred and sacrifice.
10,000 years.
He is a hunter that no prey can escape.
Versus
Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. In brightest day, in blackest night. Representing the Green Lantern Corps, this combatant wields the most powerful weapon in the universe. The Green Lantern Ring, fueled by pure, unadulterated
more rings.
Yep, we have a ring theme.
Seems to be the theme, yeah.
willpower, can create anything its user can imagine. From fighter jets to giant fists, the only limit is his own resolve.
All right, let us see what happens.
The nexus of shattered worlds materialized around them. A cosmic wound, where dying realities bled together, fragments crystallizing into floating islands that defied physics itself. Here, neither the cosmic order that empowered Hal Jordan nor the chaotic fell energies coursing through Illidan's Stormrage held dominion. Illidan's massive wings spread wide as he surveyed this neutral battlefield through burning emerald pits, the war glaives of Azimuth humming with bloodthirst in his grip. 10,000 years of imprisonment and betrayal had carved away everything soft, leaving only purpose wrapped in demonic flesh. Hal Jordan descended through fractured space, wreathed in green light that flickered like a candle in a hurricane, his rings sparking warnings about the apex predator before him. "You reek of good intentions." Illidan's voice dripped with millennia of bitter experience. "Another hero come to stop the monster." "Whatever you've done, it ends now," Hal replied, green light coalescing into his environmental shield. The betrayer struck first, wings propelling him forward with speed that approached temporal distortion. His warglaives carved reality itself, leaving wounds that bled chaotic energy. Hal's ring created a massive shield that caught the strikes, the impact shattering nearby debris into atoms. Where fell met willpower, reality screamed. Green chains erupted to bind the demon hunter, but Illidan's response was savage. Metamorphosis rippled through him, his body swelling with dark energy as an immolation aura turned air itself.
Hearthstone cards.
Yeah, we got a few now.
Yeah.
Into weapon. The constructs wavered, their perfect forms corrupted by chaos that ate at their foundation. Twin lances of concentrated destruction, eye beams.
There's another one.
Emerged from Illidan's cursed sight, curving through space with predatory intelligence. Hal barrel-rolled through twisted gravity, his ring crafting a fighter jet that matched thought for speed. Creating distance, he shaped a massive railgun that fired at light-speed fractions. Illidan's blur made him probability rather than certainty, the projectile passing through afterimages, while the real betrayer emerged behind Hal, warglaives descending in a scissoring deathstroke. Combat instincts saved the lantern. A sphere of green energy exploded outward, creating space before pressing advantage with a titan construct whose building-sized fists sent Illidan careening through floating ruins. The demon hunter emerged bloodied but savage with joy, his darkness shield having absorbed the worst. Drawing upon power rarely unleashed, Illidan became a conduit for the twisting nether itself, creating a fell prison that didn't just trap, but corrupted, seeking to twist willpower into something darker. Hal's ring flickered as doubt crept in, fell whispers promising unlimited power. No! His shout echoed through dimensions as he reasserted himself, drawing on what made him a Green Lantern, will to overcome great fear. The prison shattered as he burst free, wielding a sword of pure determination against Illidan's warglaves in exchanges that shattered nearby matter into subatomic particles. The battle raged across the Nexus with apocalyptic fury. Illidan's Chaos Nova would have leveled cities.
Another card.
Yeah, they're really throwing these out there.
Hal contained it within a sphere until it imploded harmlessly. Construct soldiers fell to Illidan's blade dance, a whirlwind, leaving only green sparks.
Is that one?
Each warrior began under...
Was Blade Dance a card?
I don't recall.
I feel like it was for some reason, but maybe
I
not.
mean, it could be.
understanding the other. Hal recognizing dangerous pragmatism in someone too comfortable with the abyss. Illidan seeing naive idealism he'd once possessed before reality burned it away. The turning point came when Illidan's mana burn disrupted the ring's power,
Another card.
Hal's shield wavering as vacuum touched him. But in that crisis, instead of panic, Hal remembered everything that defined him. His father's death, becoming a pilot despite fear, receiving Aben Sur's ring, facing Parallax, dying and being reborn. The ring exploded with renewed light, drawing not from the distant battery but from Hal himself, tinged white with life's rejection of corruption. "You think sacrifice makes you strong?" Hal said, as constructs reformed, stronger than before. "But you've sacrificed so much you've got nothing left to fight for except the fight itself." Illidan's furious roar shattered stone as he launched himself with everything. Warglaves spinning, fell energy erupting, demonic form pushed beyond limits. Within their collision's destructive sphere, they fought with transcendent savagery. But Hal's constructs weren't just weapons. They were expressions of hope and determination, each destruction spawning two better adapted replacements. Illidan fought, as always, alone. Hal carried the Corps' legacy, every life saved, that weight of purpose giving his constructs solidity that corrupted power couldn't fully erode. The end came suddenly. Illidan, overextending for a decapitation strike, left himself open for one fraction of a second. A construct materialized inside his guard. A simple hand that grasped a warglaive of Azeroth and twisted it back toward its wielder. The cursed blade pierced Illidan's chest between ribs with prophecy's ease. Green blood, tainted with centuries of feel exposure, sprayed across shattered stone.
Feel.
"Impossible," Illidan
Yes, the
gasped,
feel.
dropping to his knees as fell fire flickered in his sockets. "I am my scars."
Would that be Feel Fire?
"You were," Hal said quietly, maintaining the construct.
I am my scars. That's such an emo line. Holy shit.
Yeah. What the fuck? It's relevant, to be fair.
It does. It does. We should have pitted him against Enobi.
Oh, God. It's
That would be a goth overload.
yeah, too much. Just too much.
But scars don't heal. Will does. For a moment, something almost like peace crossed the betrayer's features, release from an impossible burden carried far too long. But Hal knew better than to leave such an enemy any chance. A massive construct materialized above. A cosmic guillotine whose blade of concentrated willpower could cut atomic bonds themselves. 10,000 years of sacrifice, Illidan whispered through blood-frothed lips. And in the end, it meant nothing. It meant something to you. That has to be enough. The blade fell with judgment's weight, passing through Illidan's neck without resistance, the concentrated willpower ensuring no demonic regeneration, no fell resurrection could intervene. The betrayer's horned head separated from his body in a spray of corrupted vitals, rolling to stop at Hal's feet, those fell fire eyes finally extinguished. As Illidan's body dissolved, fell energies finally consuming the flesh they'd transformed, the warglaves clattered to ground, their curse broken. Hal raised his ring, speaking the oath as eulogy. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Green light enveloped the remains, containing fell corruption from spreading, ensuring even in death the betrayer's taint would harm no others. Departing the unchanged nexus, Hal couldn't shake the feeling he'd killed someone who might have been a hero in another life. But here now only one outcome was possible. The will to protect had triumphed over the will to sacrifice everything.
Rip my boy Illidan.
Yeah, that is sad. But
Uh,
such is life.
I knew that was gonna happen though.
We both lost our boys.
Yeah. Next one, however, is we have O'Hilly's candidate. And it is the eternal debate. Who would win? We shall find out today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. This one's interesting. One of the characters I don't know that well at all.
Superman, right?
Yeah, I never heard of that guy.
Yeah. Well, you will find out from this intro. But first...
Goku, the Saiyan raised on Earth, the pure-hearted warrior who shatters his limits time and time again.
He does do that, yes.
Goku lives for the thrill of battle, pushing himself from Super Saiyan to the realm of the gods. Wielding the Kamehameha wave and the ability to teleport instantly, his fighting spirit is his greatest weapon.
And he is fighting, of course, who else but...
Superman, the last son of Krypton, the Man of Steel. A living solar battery, Superman is the ultimate symbol of hope and power. With strength enough to move planets, speed that defies physics, and heat vision that can melt steel, he is a force for good that is virtually indestructible. He is, quite simply, Superman.
Indeed.
Yeah, like, what more needs to be said? He is Superman.
Yeah.
Everyone knows who Superman is.
Nothing in chat. All right, let's do this. I like the title of the summary thread. Superman vs. Goku, Ultimate Battle. Oh, chat
Not wrong.
O'Hilly says, alright, Goku better kill that last son of a bitch of Krypton. God damn, what did Superman do to you?
I don't know. Apparently, Hilly just does not like Superman.
I think he just likes Goku.
Fair.
The crystalline dome materialized without warning, trapping two titans in a sphere of condensed cosmic energy beneath dying stars. Goku's orange gi rippled against the strange twilight as he studied the caped figure before him, Saiyan instincts already singing with anticipation. Superman stood rigid, his superhuman senses revealing the arena's terrible truth. The quantum locks would only release them when one heartbeat ceased forever. "You're strong," Goku said, settling into his stance with childlike excitement. "I can feel it radiating from you like heat from a sun." Clark Kent felt the weight of inevitability crushing down. Before him stood a warrior who had transcended death's fear so completely that he welcomed its possibility as the price of a perfect fight. "We don't have to do this," Superman said, though the words rang hollow against Goku's widening grin. "There's never another way when warriors meet," Goku replied, ki sparking white around him. Your body knows it even if your mind doesn't. Their first exchange shattered the crystalline walls with a thunderclap, fractures racing outward before sealing with singing glass. The force behind Goku's casual jab would have pulverized mountains. Raw power honed to perfection through pure experience. Superman responded with measured strength, both fighters sliding backward from the impact. "You're holding back," Goku observed, disappointment creeping into his voice. "Why?" A lifetime of restraint carved into Clark's soul warred against the moment's demands. But as Goku's aura intensified, hair flickering between black and gold, Superman understood his mercy would be seen as insult. "Because once I stop holding back, people die." "Good." Goku's transformation erupted like nuclear dawn, Super Saiyan energy cascading golden around him. "Then stop holding back and let's see which one of us it is." The battle transcended physical combat, fought through dimensions of speed where they exchanged blows existing in multiple timelines simultaneously. Goku's instant
Oh no, not timelines. Oh,
There's truly no escape.
the cursed word. Yeah, we should change the "there is no escape from the horse" line to "there is no escape from the timeline."
Both are equally true.
Yeah. Maybe the horse is the timeline.
brought him behind Superman, Kamehameha wave, screaming toward the Kryptonian's back, but Clark's super speed turned him in time to meet the beam with heat vision. The collision created a sphere of destruction that collapsed into vacuum, leaving both suspended in nothingness. They separated, studying each other with newfound respect. Goku's transformations climbed higher, Super Saiyan 2, 3, massive golden hair crackling with bioelectric fury. Each form brought exponential increases in power. Superman responded by finally truly letting go. He moved beyond light speed, punches arriving before he threw them.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, beyond light speed.
Okay. No. I have an issue with punches arriving before he threw them.
No, that's because it's beyond light speed.
Ah.
Causality bending around Kryptonian physiology. The turning point came with Ultra Instinct. Goku's hair returned to black, silvered at edges, movements becoming thoughtless perfection.
So many anime
For
transformation
precious
sequences.
minutes, Superman couldn't touch him. Every strike meeting empty air, every beam hitting afterimages. But Clark's tactical mind, sharpened by years of combat, perceived the pattern within patternlessness. Ultra Instinct was perfect reaction, still just reaction, and Goku needed to breathe. Superman began controlling the battlefield itself, Arctic breath creating expanding clouds of absolute zero that devoured oxygen. Goku's movements slowed fractionally as hypoxia crept in despite his fortitude. His Ultra Instinct flickered, still deadly, but no longer absolutely perfect. Clark pressed with ruthless efficiency, fists becoming light-speed pistons, each blow calculated to compound oxygen deprivation. Goku fought back with desperate brilliance, a final Kamehameha that would have erased solar systems, but Superman flew through it, bioelectric aura burning away his suit while Kryptonian cells endured. The end came with shocking suddenness. Ultra Instinct failed for just an instant, a heartbeat of vulnerability as Goku's oxygen-starved brain hiccuped. Superman's hand closed around his throat with grip strength that could compress coal into diamonds.
I'm sorry, O'Hilly.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Goku's
Superman's got this
hands clawed at the unbreakable hold, power still enormous, but leverage gone. Clark watched realization flash in the warrior's eyes, followed by satisfaction.
So there's only a robust candidate left. Wait, who did you bet on?
Yeah.
Oh, Omni-man. There's yours.
Yeah, Omni-man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At finding an unsurmountable limit, then the very human fear preceding extinction. I'm sorry, Superman whispered, meaning it completely as he began vibrating his hand at the precise frequency to disrupt molecular bonds. You were magnificent. The vibration increased, and Goku's neck began discorporating at the atomic level, flesh becoming vapor, becoming constituent elements.
Just break it, man. This is unnecessary. Like, this is just flexing. It's rude.
Just break his neck, you know? You don't need to do all this atomic level discorporation. Oh, man.
The Saiyan's throat dissolved first, the disruption spreading outward in waves of unmaking. Tissue separated into cells, cells into molecules, molecules into atoms that sparkled briefly before dispersing into the cosmic void. His spinal column lasted a moment longer, white bone visible through dissolving muscle before it too succumbed to the frequency's terrible harmony. Goku's final expression was a genuine, peaceful smile. A warrior who had found exactly what he'd always sought. His body broke apart from the point of contact in streams of glittering particles, his great key signature flaring once like a supernova before extinguishing forever. Where a magnificent warrior had stood, only empty space remained, scattered with the fundamental dust of what had been life. Clark floated in the now silent arena, hand still extended where Goku's throat had been, trembling from the weight of necessity's demand. The crystalline walls faded, recognizing combat's conclusion, but Superman barely noticed. He had won through tactical superiority and biological advantage, exploiting the single vulnerability in an otherwise perfect opponent. But looking at the empty space, Clark Kent felt nothing like victory, only the cold understanding that sometimes the strongest thing in the universe was simply the ability to endure doing what survival required.
All right, let's see.
Hilly is not happy.
Let's see.
Yep.
He did say he was going to rage quit, so, you know.
Yeah, we were warned. We warned. I don't know. I feel like it was fair. I don't know Goku, so maybe.
Yeah,
I feel like it was fair.
Yeah, I've never watched Dragon Ball, like, in my life, so
Yeah, I don't plan to either.
I really don't know anything about the nuances of Goku's power or whatever. I just know it's over 9,000.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna fire up the next summary, and then I'm gonna go piss.
Valid.
Because I need to go.
So, Chad, what will we talk about?
Okay. On second thought, I have to keep watching in the hopes that someone eviscerates Superman. Well, it'll be the fight, Superman versus Omni-Man.
Yeah,
Or Shao Kahn, but
that one.
you know, probably Omni-Man.
I want to see Superman versus Omni-Man, man.
Yeah. All right.
So it's gonna be...
I'll be right back.
I think Omni-Man's gonna do it. I would put my money on him. Which, well, I have. Even though we never set stakes, we probably should set some stakes for that bet. But yeah, something else worth talking about while he's gone, let me think. Oh yeah, I missed the literature club unfortunately yesterday. We had a meal, we had dinner. So I was out with my family for my birthday. What else? That's about it really. I do like this music, by the way. I'd like to know what it's from.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. I was just saying, I like this music. I kind of want to know what it's from.
I don't even know what it's from, but I can send you the playlist.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more chat? No?
Nope, chat has been silent. I ran out of things to say.
Alright. Oh, I almost fired up the battle without playing the intro.
No, we need to. Yeah.
So,
need intro.
we have Shane's candidate.
Omni-man. He was Earth's greatest protector, and its most terrifying threat. A Viltrumite, a member of a species of biological weapons, Omni-man possesses staggering strength, speed, and durability that make him a one-man army. He is a ruthless, unyielding conqueror who has toppled entire civilizations with his bare hands.
And he will be fighting
Shao Kahn. And his opponent, the Emperor of Outworld. For millennia, Shao Kahn has ruled with an iron fist, conquering realm after realm through brutal combat and dark magic. He is not just a warrior, he is a soul-devouring tyrant whose wrath hammer has crushed legions of heroes. He has one demand: you will taste my power.
Let's see if Omni-man shall taste his power.
I think Omni-Man wins this.
I think Omni-man wins this too, but let us see.
The AI
The
can
dimensional
surprise us, though.
Yeah, it has. But, like, I think it's mostly been, like, in line with expectations. For the most part.
Yeah, sure.
Rift split reality like an executioner's blade, depositing Omni-man onto the obsidian platform suspended in the void between realms. Stars died in the endless darkness surrounding this ancient arena where gods settled their disputes. Across from him, reality folded again, and Shao Kahn materialized in green flame, his war hammer forged from elder god bones, materializing with thunderous force.
Is that canon?
I don't know. It could
I
be.
really hope it is. That's sick.
Yeah, that's
I want that to be true.
metal.
Nolan Grayson of Viltrum, Omni-man declared, voice carrying the cold authority of a galaxy-spanning conqueror. You're just another primitive despot playing at godhood. Shao Kahn's laughter boomed across the void. I have consumed the souls of entire realms, broken the Chosen One himself. You speak of conquest, but I am conquest incarnate. They collided at the platform's center, fist meeting hammer in a dimensional shockwave. Omni-man's speed advantage showed immediately as he slipped past the weapon's arc, driving his knee into Shao Kahn's ribs with liquefying force. But the Emperor had absorbed billions of warrior souls, each adding to his godlike durability. He caught Omni-man's next punch, headbutting the Viltrumite hard enough to crack his own helmet before his hammer sent Nolan careening across the platform. Blood trickled from Omni-man's mouth, something that hadn't happened in decades. His tactical mind recognized the pattern. Shao Kahn's magical nature provided unusual resistance, but magic users always grew drunk on their power. The key was making them overextend. Shao Kahn raised his hammer skyward, channeling soul magic through the weapon. Kneel before your Emperor! The blast that erupted could have leveled cities. Omni-man flew directly into it, using his speed to close distance before it reached full power. The energy seared his skin, but Viltrumites were bred to endure anything. His fist connected with Shao Kahn's jaw with stellar force, lifting the Emperor off his feet. Omni-man grabbed his throat and accelerated upward, breaking through dimensional barriers, a realm of endless flame, an ocean dimension where leviathans fled, a crystalline realm that shattered at their presence, all while pounding calculated blows into Shao Kahn's face and body. But the Emperor's fingers found Omni-man's eyes, channeling soul-stealing magic directly into his being. The Viltrumite screamed as Shao Kahn attempted to rip his essence from his body. They plummeted back, striking the platform like a meteor, creating a crater to its edges. Both rose from the impact, truly tested for the first time in ages. Omni-man's costume hung torn, revealing burned flesh. Shao Kahn's helmet had shattered completely, his scarred face twisted in savage joy. "Your soul will make a fine addition to my collection," Shao Kahn growled, hefting his hammer. They clashed again, but Omni-man had learned the Emperor's rhythm, the tells preceding each magical assault. When Shao Kahn raised his hammer for another soul-powered blast, Omni-man struck at the exact moment he committed, driving through his guard to crush his windpipe. As the Emperor staggered, Omni-man grabbed the warhammer's shaft and drove it back into Shao Kahn's chest, cracking through mystical armor. Even wounded, Shao Kahn grabbed Omni-man's head with both hands. "If I fall, you fall with me." Green fire erupted directly into the Viltrumite's skull. Omni-man felt his consciousness fragmenting, saw visions of every being Shao Kahn had consumed, millions screaming in eternal torment. The pain was beyond description, but pain was just another enemy to conquer. With a roar that echoed across dimensions, he pulled, muscles straining against magical might. There was a moment of resistance, then a wet tearing as he ripped Shao Kahn's arms from their sockets. The Emperor's scream cut off as Omni-man's hand closed around his throat. Green energy sparked uselessly from the stumps where his arms had been. For the first time in millennia, Shao Kahn's eyes showed something that might have been fear. "You asked me to kneel," Omni-man said coldly. "Viltrumites kneel to no one." He lifted Shao Kahn overhead, then brought him down onto his raised knee with spine-shattering precision. The crack echoed through the void like breaking thunder. But Omni-man wasn't finished. He grabbed Shao Kahn's head and lower jaw, fingers finding purchase on bone and flesh. The Emperor's eyes widened as he realized what was coming, his mouth trying to form final words, curse, plea, or defiance. With one savage motion, Omni-man pulled in opposite directions. There was a moment of resistance, as mystical flesh fought against Viltrumite strength. Then Shao Kahn's jaw separated from his skull with a grotesque tearing of meat and sinew. Blood, green with residual soul energy, fountained from the wound. The Emperor's tongue lolled obscenely from his ruined face, as Omni-man continued pulling, peeling Shao Kahn's head apart like ripe fruit. Brain matter and bone fragments splattered across the obsidian platform. The Emperor's body convulsed once, twice, then went still, his remaining eye staring sightlessly into the void that had witnessed his final defeat. Omni-man dropped the pieces of what had been Shao Kahn, Emperor of Outworld, conqueror of realms, reduced now to cooling meat on an ancient battlefield. He stood among the gore, breathing heavily, burns and bruises covering his body. Victory had come down to will, to the absolute refusal to accept any outcome but dominance. As reality folded to return him home, Nolan allowed himself a satisfied smile. Another pretender to supreme power reduced to a cautionary tale. The void reclaimed its silence, cosmic winds scattering the remains of the Emperor who had thought himself eternal into the darkness between stars where even gods feared to tread.
Yeah, that was
As we expected.
expected. All right, Shane's candidate is still in.
Nice.
And yes, we're gonna have the epic match, Superman vs. Omni-Man. Now that one, I'm not sure. That one,
I think Omni-Man takes it.
I think
he
the
takes
Chronicler
it.
might give the edge to Superman.
We'll see. I don't know. Also, Jesus, we're not through round 1 yet, are we?
Yeah, no, we have 2 more matches in round 1.
And look at the time. Jesus.
Yeah.
Might be a late stream, folks.
Alright, next one.
Aang. The boy in the iceberg. The last airbender. The Avatar. Aang is the master of all 4 elements: air, water, earth, and fire. As the bridge between the physical and spirit worlds, he can call upon the knowledge of all his past lives and enter the devastating Avatar state, becoming a force of nature personified.
Indeed. And his opponent?
Naruto Uzumaki, and his opponent, the #1 knucklehead ninja of Konoha. The Jinchuriki of the 9-tailed fox, Naruto possesses a colossal reserve of chakra. With his shadow clones, the devastating Rasengan, and the godlike power of Sage of 6 Paths mode, he is a hero who overcame hatred.
He has a mode.
I'm so sorry, but I understood none of that. What can he do?
I don't know.
Shadow clones?
Yeah,
That's
shadow
the only
clones.
bit I got.
Yeah.
To become
The
one of
rest
the
was
most powerful
incomprehensible.
shinobi who ever lived. Believe it.
What now?
Shinobi, ninja.
Ah, okay. Sorry, yeah, I actually do know that word.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what happens. Yeah, neither of us know much about Naruto, to be honest.
Yeah, same as Goku.
We do know about Avatar.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
we do know about Avatar. We might see some energy venting.
Can we veto? If we see energy bending, can we veto?
I
we
think we've
can't,
agreed
but
that
I
the
want
Chronicler's
to.
decision is final, so
Yeah, but I really want to if energy bending
let's-
comes up.
let's see what happens.
The
Chronicler,
ancient
don't do it
monastery
to us.
hung suspended between dimensions, stone platforms drifting through twilight where chakra auroras danced with cosmic winds. Aang touched down first, his tattoos pulsing blue as he sensed the approaching storm of life force. Naruto materialized in golden light 30 meters away, the 7th Hokage's cerulean eyes immediately recognizing the convergence of elemental power before him. The spirit world demands only one can leave, Aang whispered, sorrow flickering behind ancient eyes. His hands formed a prayer seal. Forgive me. Then you know I can't back down, Naruto replied, fingers already forming his signature cross seal. I've got a family waiting for me. The battle erupted with hundreds of shadow clones rushing forward in waves of orange. Aang's response was devastating poetry, riding an air scooter skyward while conducting stone shrapnel through the army, each clone dispersing in white smoke. Naruto moved among his duplicates, using their memories to map the Avatar's patterns while forming a screaming Rasengan in his palm. Their first true exchange shook reality. Aang's body bent at impossible angles, dodging the spiraling chakra by millimeters. Earth erupted in massive hands that Naruto pulverized with dual Rasengans, Sage mode activating as natural energy flooded his system. 3 Rasen Shuriken materialized simultaneously, their wind nature chakra making Aang's air bending resonate painfully as he redirected their trajectories through empty space. "You're holding back," Naruto called out, golden chakra cloak flickering to life. "I can sense more power locked inside." Aang's eyes flashed white. The Avatar state erupted with primordial fury, lifting him on a pillar of swirling elements. His voice carried 1,000 lifetimes. "I am the bridge between worlds. I cannot fall here." Kurama's chakra exploded outward, forming the massive fox avatar around Naruto. "And I'm the Hokage who never gives up." Their clash created a temporary void in space itself. Aang's 4 elements compressed and released in catastrophic expansion, while Naruto's tailed beast bomb carved through the maelstrom. The explosion hurled both warriors backward, their protective energy
This is the most anime thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
flickering dangerously. They met again in devastating close combat. Each of Aang's strikes carried elemental force: stone's weight, water's flow, wind's edge, fire's heat. Naruto's chakra-enhanced blows created shockwaves that shattered floating platforms, his raw strength evident even against the Avatar state. A brutal knee to Naruto's solar plexus sent him skidding backward. Aang pressed forward with fire dragon spirals, forcing a last-second substitution. Naruto appeared behind him with a big ball Rasengan aimed at his spine. Aang flowed like water around it, his hand touching Naruto's wrist to disrupt his chakra flow, chi blocking adapted through Avatar mastery. Naruto's forehead crashed into Aang's nose with bone-crushing force, blood streaming as the Hokage unleashed a combination that blurred with speed. Lightning gathered between Aang's fingers, the bolt split dimensional twilight, coursing through Naruto's body as he screamed, crashing into a platform hard enough to crater it. Both warriors stood damaged, Aang's young body trembling from channeling such power, blood running from his nose and ears. Naruto's left arm useless from chi blocking, burns covering his frame. "In another life we could have been friends," Naruto wheezed. "In another life we would have been," Aang agreed, tears mixing with blood. Naruto's final gambit was brilliantly simple. A shadow clone appeared behind him as he charged forward, accepting Aang's air spear through his chest. The compressed wind punching clean through lung and heart, erupting from his back in crimson spray. His working arm wrapped around Aang in an embrace. "Got you," Naruto whispered through blood-bubbled lips. The clone transformed into a paper bomb against Naruto's back. Aang's protective air sphere was half-formed when detonation launched them apart. Naruto's body, already fatally wounded, ragdolled through the air before crashing to the platform's edge, blue eyes staring sightlessly with a small smile. Someone who had given everything. Aang tumbled across stone, ribs shattered, organs punctured by bone fragments, hemorrhaging internally. He crawled toward Naruto's body, each movement agony, reaching out with trembling, blood-slicked fingers to close those eyes. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." The Avatar tried entering the Avatar state once more, but spiritual energy wouldn't come. His body too damaged, chi paths too disrupted. Past lives grew distant like canyon echoes. Despite his injuries, Aang assumed meditation position facing Naruto's body, hands forming the air nomad prayer as blood pooled beneath him. "May you find peace in the next life." The young Avatar's breathing ceased. His body remained upright momentarily before tilting forward, forehead touching stone in eternal bow to the warrior who had pushed him beyond all limits. The dimensional space began collapsing, with both combatants dead, monastery platforms crumbling into void. Their bodies lay feet apart, orange robes and orange jacket fluttering together like prayer flags for the fallen. In the end, there was no victor. Only 2 legends who discovered that sometimes the strongest warriors ensure their enemies join them in death rather than accept defeat. The void consumed all evidence, leaving only silence where titans had clashed.
Okay, another one of these.
Again, I think we reward that as an Aang win.
Do we give that to Aang?
I think we did.
That, like, the other one was clearer. I think the other one was very, like,
Yeah, 'cause
okay,
this
Vader
one, like,
won,
it
and
was
then
an,
this one was...
yeah. Yeah, I think I call that draw. I think we call that draw. I think that's all we can do with it. Plus, we kind of need the time.
Yeah, that's the other thing, but yeah, I guess we give it... We make that a draw, so
I think we do.
Lord Ruler / Kratos gets a bye.
Gets a bye. I think it's Lord Ruler. I think Lord Ruler wins this.
We'll see.
Surely, I see no world where he doesn't.
Well,
I could be wrong, but I would put good.
well,
money
you know,
on
it's
this.
Kratos. He's killed gods before. So,
True.
We'll see. But anyway, the intros. Oh, wait. There you go.
Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, the god of war. This is a mortal who carved a bloody path through the entire Greek pantheon out of sheer unadulterated rage. Armed with divine weapons and the fury of a betrayed god, Kratos is the living embodiment of deicide. He has killed gods before, and he is here to do it again.
And fighting him will be the robust candidate.
The Lord Ruler, and his opponent, the Sliver of Infinity, the God Emperor of the Final Empire. For 1,000 years he has ruled as a living god. A master of allomancy and feruchemy, he can compound his own powers to achieve infinite strength, impossible speed, and instantaneous healing. He is, for all intents and purposes, immortal and invincible.
Okay. Let us see.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
The ash fell like gray snow across the desolate expanse where two worlds collided. Volcanic wastelands merged with metallic ruins, creating a labyrinth of shadow and flame where gods would settle their account in blood. Kratos stood amid the swirling ash, pale skin marked by his greatest sin, his family's ashes fused to his flesh. The blades of chaos hung ready, still warm with divine fire. Across from him walked the Lord Ruler, Rashek, whose 1,000-year reign had reshaped reality itself. Steel and iron burned within him, blue lines crisscrossing his vision, showing every metal source for miles, including those curious blades. "You dare enter my domain?" The Lord Ruler's voice carried centuries of absolute authority. "I have killed beings who claimed dominion over death itself," Kratos growled. "Your empire ends today, tyrant." Rashek pulled on the blades of chaos with his allomancy, expecting to disarm the warrior instantly. The chains went taut, metal singing with magnetic force, but divine enchantment resisted allomantic control. Interesting. The Lord Ruler launched himself backward while hurling a spray of coins forward like metallic buckshot. Kratos rolled aside, cataloging his opponent's abilities even as his body moved on pure instinct. This one commanded metal like Hephaestus commanded the forge. The Lord Ruler tapped his steel mines, becoming a blur that circled Kratos faster than mortal eyes could follow, each pass accompanied by steel-pushed projectiles, ancient weapons transformed into deadly missiles. But Kratos had fought speedsters before. He whirled the blades of chaos in a defensive hurricane of divine fire and metal. When Rashek came too close with a pewter-enhanced strike that could shatter mountains, Kratos dropped low, wrapped his chains around the Lord Ruler's arm, and yanked. The incredible speed worked against Rashek as momentum redirected, slamming him into a crater. He compounded gold, healing shattered ribs instantly, but Kratos was already upon him. They separated after a vicious exchange, both reassessing. The Lord Ruler began compounding steel, his speed increasing until he existed as barely more than a streak, striking dozens of times per heartbeat. Kratos' divine durability absorbed the barrage, each hit only feeding his rage further. When Rashek paused fractionally, the Spartan's hand shot out, catching him by the throat mid-dash. Impossible reflexes forged in divine warfare. Rashek tapped Duralumin, burning through his remaining steel in one massive push that separated them violently. Both rose simultaneously, breathing hard. This battle was costing the Lord Ruler resources hoarded for centuries, while Kratos felt the familiar burn of true combat singing through his veins. The ghost of Sparta called upon power absorbed from Olympus itself, his body glowing with inner fire as the rage of Sparta built to critical mass. The Lord Ruler responded by compounding every metal at once, steel for speed, pewter for strength, gold for healing, zinc and brass to assault Kratos' mind. He became less a man and more a force of nature. But emotional allomancy washed over Kratos like water over stone. His rage was not some simple emotion to be manipulated, but a fundamental aspect forged in his family's death and tempered in God's blood. They clashed with impact that shattered the ground for hundreds of feet. Divine fire met allomantic force as they traded blows that would level cities. Rashek's compounded gold healed him through fatal wounds, blade through lung, severed spine,
Yo, where's Atium?
Yeah, I don't know.
pierced heart, each healing instantly but draining reserves critically. Kratos bled divine ichor from countless wounds, but pain only sharpened his focus. He could sense his opponent's desperation growing, the diminishing returns of whatever well of power the Lord Ruler drew from. The critical moment came when Rashek attempted his most devastating attack, compounding steel mines to impossible levels while pushing on every piece of metal simultaneously, creating a maelstrom directed at Kratos. Instead of defending, the Spartan charged through the storm, accepting grievous wounds as the price of victory. The blades of chaos wrapped around the Lord Ruler's arms, their divine nature resisting his attempts to push them away. Kratos' massive hands clamped onto either side of Rashek's head, fingers digging into his skull. "You think yourself eternal. I have ended eternities." The Lord Ruler compounded gold frantically, healing fractures as fast as Kratos caused them. But maintaining multiple abilities while compounding pushed even his capabilities. For just a moment, he let his pewter enhancement lapse. Kratos felt the change instantly. His thumbs found the Lord Ruler's eyes, driving deep with inexorable force. Rashek screamed, a sound that hadn't escaped his lips in a millennium, and in that moment of vulnerability, Kratos' fist, wrapped in burning chains, drove through the Lord Ruler's chest. The Spartan's hand closed around Rashek's heart and pulled. The Lord Ruler's body tried to grow a new heart, even as the old one was ripped away, but Kratos wasn't finished. His other hand grabbed Rashek's jaw, and with a roar that echoed across both worlds, he pulled in opposite directions. The sound was wet and final.
Yes, my boy Kratos.
Holy shit.
Go.
Okay.
The Lord Ruler's upper body separated from his lower, spine snapping like a ship's mast in a storm. His compounded gold sputtered, trying impossibly to heal damage too severe, too complete. Organs spilled onto ash-covered ground as his metal mines, finally, after 1,000 years, ran empty. Rashek's mouth opened in a silent scream as his bisected form collapsed, his still-beating heart crushed methodically in Kratos' grip to ensure no regeneration could occur. The battlefield fell silent except for perpetual ashfall. Kratos stood over the corpse, covered in both their blood, breathing heavily. This one had fought well, had pushed him to limits untouched since Olympus burned. But in the end, all tyrants fell the same way, violently, absolutely, and at the hands of someone stronger. The ghost of Sparta walked away, leaving the Lord Ruler's remains to be claimed by ash. Behind him, an empire built on a millennium of oppression began to crumble, its immortal foundation finally irrevocably destroyed.
Yeah. All right. And so another falls. And the only bet that remains is Shane's candidate.
Buddy, you can't let me down now. I've put a lot on you. Superman's going to be a big challenge, though.
Yeah.
I have a feeling whoever wins that's going to win the whole thing.
Possibly. All right, so we are in round 2 now. So, to recap, what's going to happen in round 2? We're going to have Darth Vader versus Sauron. I think that one's pretty clear. Vecna versus Green Lantern.
Ooh, that's
I
interesting.
don't know
Well,
about that
Vecna.
one. I think Vecna's going to fuck him up, though. Superman versus Omni-man.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one.
We've talked about this one. And then Kratos gets a bye.
Yeah. 1 second, just before we start, I just need to run for 2 minutes. Be right back.
All right. Surprised there's no reaction from Robust. You clearly don't know anything about Vecna's powers, man. I was not surprised at that result. I was not surprised at all. That was not too unexpected, to be honest. Yeah, I agree with you. The atrium would have helped. For some reason, it just didn't use it that time. It often does, but that time it just decided, nah, no atrium. That's what I mean. The Chronicler is unpredictable. You never know. Apparently not. Apparently he didn't think he needed extra vials, man. I mean, I think that's, that might be in character. Like, he's too arrogant to think that anyone could best him. But yeah, on principle, I do agree that the Lord Ruler didn't really get a fair shot there. There's a lot more that he could have done, but yeah, that's true. You've been very unlucky with your bets.
I'm back.
Okay. Let us begin with
Right.
round 2. The quarterfinals. Darth Vader versus Sauron.
The obsidian fortress hung suspended between realities, a manifestation of pure malevolence where two dark lords would determine supremacy. Darth Vader emerged from shadow, his mechanical breathing echoing through the vast throne room as his crimson lightsaber ignited. At the chamber's heart stood Sauron in his war aspect, black armor devouring light itself, the one ring blazing on his finger like captured starfire, his great mace wreathed in flames that burned without fuel. Another servant of shadow. Sauron's voice resonated through both sound and thought. You wear your slavery proudly, machine man. Already defeated. Your reign ended in failure. Vader's respirator transformed his words into thunder. You cling to a ring while I wield the power that binds the galaxy itself. The pillars groaned under invisible pressure as he raised his hand. Sauron's laughter was civilization's burning. I who helped sing the world into being should kneel to a broken mortal. Your force is merely another note in creation's symphony. Their weapons met with reality-shattering impact. Vader's lightsaber carved perfect arcs through space, decades of combat experience merged with precognitive insight, each strike flowing seamlessly into the next. Yet Sauron's mace moved with grace that belied his massive armor, spinning in patterns that bent space itself. Where Vader fought as a perfected killing machine, Sauron fought like conscious nature's wrath. The Sith Lord reached out, attempting to crush Sauron's armor through the Force. Metal groaned and buckled, then reformed, the ring blazing brighter as ancient will contested modern power. Waves of corruption struck Vader's cybernetics in response, twisting machinery into instruments of torture. Circuits sparked, breathing apparatus stuttering, familiar pain flaring through every nerve. but Vader transformed agony into raw power that erupted outward, clearing the corruption and sending Sauron sliding backward. They circled each other, predators reassessing prey. Vader unleashed Force lightning fed by decades of rage and self-hatred, blue-white torrents seeking any weakness. Sauron walked through the storm unperturbed, the One Ring absorbing, converting, reflecting the energy threefold. Vader barely deflected his own attack, stumbling, and Sauron struck. The mace descended with mountain's weight. Vader caught it on his lightsaber, but the impact drove him to one knee, stone cracking in a 20-foot spiderweb beneath him. His damaged cybernetic arm sparked violently. "Betrayed by your master, enslaved by those you served," Sauron pressed, maintaining crushing pressure. "Your anger is magnificent, but ultimately impotent." Those words cut deeper than any blow. Vader's rage exploded outward, hurling Sauron back with soul-deep fury. His lightsaber became a crimson blur, combining acrobatic impossibility with devastating power strikes seeming everywhere at once. Sauron weathered the assault, pure defense against the desperate offensive, but recognized the moment Vader's damaged servos began to falter. The counterattack was swift and brutal. Sauron's mace shattered Vader's left leg at the knee, then his gauntleted fist caved in the chest panel, regulating breathing. Vader collapsed, but didn't yield, reaching through the Force to wrap power around Sauron's throat, the ring, his very essence. For a moment they were locked in mutual destruction, Vader's vision darkening as oxygen failed. But the ring pulsed with revelation. Sauron discorporated partially, becoming shadow and flame, letting Vader's grip pass through nothing before reforming solid above the fallen Sith. "Your hatred was poisoned by love, by regret." Sauron raised his mace high. "Mine is distilled from darkness before first light." Vader's cybernetics had failed completely. He could only watch as the mace shattered his helmet's faceplate, exposing Anakin Skywalker's scarred face to open air for the first time in decades. Behind all that armor, just a broken man. Sauron placed one boot on Vader's chest, pressing slowly. The chest plate buckled, then cracked. "Let me show you the mercy of true darkness." From Sauron's extended fingers flowed not lightning but pure corruption, the distilled essence of dominion and decay. It poured into Vader through every breach in his armor, through his exposed face, through his very pores. The Sith Lord's body began to transform, flesh transmuting into black stone, then crumbling to ash. But Sauron ensured Vader's consciousness remained until the very end, forcing him to experience every moment of his body's dissolution. The last thing Anakin Skywalker saw was the One Ring, blazing like a golden eye, consuming his vision as his own eyes turned to dust. His final thought, freed from the prison of Vader's rage, was of Padme, a moment of love in an ocean of darkness. Then even that was consumed, his essence scattered across the dimensional void, denied even the mercy of becoming one with the Force. Sauron stood alone in the shattered throne room, Vader's empty armor crumbling at his feet. "There is only one Lord of the Rings," he declared to the void, "and he does not share power." The fortress dissolved around him as Sauron faded back into shadow, leaving only scattered pieces of black armor and the lingering echo of mechanical breathing that would never sound again.
That reminded us what of quote stealing there.
As expected. Did he? Who did he
There's
steal-
only one Lord of the Rings and he does not share power.
Who did he steal that from?
That's a quote, isn't it?
Is it?
I don't know. I know that's a quote from the book, though.
I mean...
Gandalf, I think? Gandalf or like Aragorn? One of the
Oh,
two.
could be Gandalf. Yeah. There is only one Lord of the Rings, and he does not share power. Yeah.
I'm not insane. That feels really familiar, right?
Yeah, Yeah, that was expected, though.
Yeah, I didn't think Vader could do it.
Nah. Alright, next one. Shall be Vecna versus Green Lantern. Let's see what
Another one that I think is kind of obvious.
Let's see what Green Lantern can do against Vecna.
Yeah, I think this is going to be short.
Alright.
The emerald comet that was Hal Jordan streaked through the obsidian void toward a citadel of bone and shadow, its twisted spires carved with runes that whispered forbidden secrets. At its apex stood Vecna, the Archlich whose singular eye burned with cold undeath, his withered form draped in nightmare-woven robes. The eye of Vecna perceived what even Owen technology could not. Layers of reality, and beneath Jordan's bravado, the mortality that bound him. That bauble on your finger, a crutch for those who lack true power. Vecna's voice violated natural law itself. I, who have transcended death, who have made gods tremble, shall add your will to my collection of broken things. Hal's ring flared brighter against the wrongness before him. Big talk from a walking corpse in a dress. I've helped kill Necron himself. You're just another undead tyrant with delusions of grandeur. The Archlich...
Who's Necron?
Some
DC villain, I
Green
guess.
Lantern villain, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
laugh shattered like tombstones. That pretender who merely commands death? I am death transcended. 100-foot emerald fist slammed toward Vecna with stellar force. The Archlich spoke a single pre-stellar word, the construct shattered like glass, its fragments absorbed through his fingers as he tasted Jordan's willpower like aged wine. Hal was already moving, weaving between necrotic bolts that aged and withered reality itself. Where they struck his shields, they didn't break. They ceased to have ever existed. Vecna's hands traced burning sigils in the void, each gesture trying to unravel Hal's very existence. Jordan pushed back with pure determination, his ring painfully bright. A storm of constructs erupted, jets, missiles, chain guns firing, while Hal rocketed forward as an emerald comet. Vecna dissolved into shadow, reforming behind him. The hand of Vecna touched Jordan's shoulder, and agony beyond description flooded through him as his life force flowed into the Archlich. Hal spun, driving an elbow into ancient flesh, following with a point-blank ring blast that carved through Vecna's robes. The Archlich's rage scream shook the citadel as it reshaped into something hostile, calcified spears thrusting while death magic tried to stop Hal's heart, rot his lungs, dissolve his soul. But where others would despair, Jordan found deeper determination. Medical constructs purged poison while bombers carpet-bombed Vecna's position. You fight because you're terrified of being weak, Vecna whispered directly into Hal's mind. Every construct monuments your insecurity, every joke shields against the truth. You are small, temporary, insignificant. Hal's concentration wavered. Vecna struck instantly, teleporting forward, driving the hand through green shields into Hal's chest, gripping not his physical heart, but the concept of his existence. I could unmake you with a thought. Hal's response was a headbutt.
Yeah, why don't you, though?
Yeah, you should just do that then.
Yeah.
That shattered Vecna's nose. Green energy exploded in a desperate nova, hurling the Archlich backward. Blood poured from Hal's chest as he pressed forward, his
He
ring
said
coalescing
Archlich.
into
He did it.
He did.
For the first time in his life,
Well
this
done.
man has said Archlich
Well done, George.
correctly.
something new. A massive mech suit with null metal plating inscribed with Owen wards, weapons channeling pure willpower into anti-entropic beams. Fascinating. You might have made a worthy apprentice, Vecna mused, hands coming together. But this lifetime ends now. The spell he'd been weaving throughout their battle struck, a masterwork attacking the concept of hope itself. Without hope, will became mere stubbornness. Every failure, every unavenged death, every doubt crashed over Hal. The mech cracked, dimming. But Hal had been Parallax's host, had died, and returned. In absolute darkness, he found something unexpected. Acceptance. You're right. I am mortal, flawed, afraid. That's what makes my will matter. Because I choose to fight, despite all of that. The ring blazed brighter than ever. The mech grew into pure human determination made manifest. They clashed with apocalyptic force, spells that could level cities against constructs that could move planets. The void cracked under their battle's strain. Vecna's critical error came when he peered into the ring itself with his eye, trying to subvert its connection to Oa. Instead he glimpsed the
What is Oa?
The homeworld of the Guardians, I think.
Oh, yeah. I don't. I'm very un. God, what's the word?
Not your area. Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not knowledgeable about Green Lantern. So,
I know a tiny bit, but not that much.
I mean, that's kind of what Green Lantern is, though. Like, the entire point is Deus Ex Machina. Like, the ring is just... Oh, you can just construct whatever the fuck you want. So, yeah.
combined willpower of thousands of Green Lanterns. The feedback scattered his consciousness across 1,000 viewpoints. Hal struck, every bit of remaining charge forming a simple, perfect blade that pierced through ancient flesh into the phylactery hidden within Vecna's chest. Impossible.
Why would he keep his phylactery
Yeah,
on
why would he
him?
keep his
No, come on,
phylactery
come
in
on,
him?
come on.
I am eternal. Vecna's eye widened in genuine shock. You're done, Hal gasped, twisting the blade. The phylactery cracked, 10,000 years of stolen life pouring out. Even dissolving, Vecna lunged forward, the hand wrapping around Hal's throat, flooding him with necrotic energy. Years passed in seconds, hair whitening, skin wrinkling, but Hal's eyes still blazed green as he generated one final construct, a massive industrial wood chipper, its blades spinning with inevitable purpose. He fed Vecna into it inch by inch. The Archlich's screams echoed through dimensions as his body was systematically destroyed. The hand of Vecna ground to powder, the eye burst like a rotten grape, his skull, repository of countless secrets, became calcium dust. Even as Vecna tried to reform, the green energy ensured what was destroyed stayed destroyed. Finally, only a whispered curse remained, which Hal sucked up with an absurd vacuum cleaner construct, compressed into a marble...
Okay, sure, yeah.
He's just having fun with it.
Yeah. If he beats Sauron, I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah.
And crushed between aged fingers. The Archlich Vecna, who had
He
walked
is super
between
old
life
now.
and
Do we-
death for
do we
10
include that
millennia,
somehow?
was utterly,
No.
permanently destroyed by a mortal man with an alien ring and too much determination to quit. Hal collapsed in the disintegrating citadel, aged decades in minutes, ring flickering near depletion. Guess that's one for the core history books, he wheezed before emergency protocols encased him for the journey to Oa. Where Vecna had stood, only silence remained, the complete and final death of one who thought himself deathless.
All right, sure.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Chronicler.
I like Vecna more, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, like Sauron versus Vecna would have been fucking sick. But we don't get that. However, Superman versus Omni-Man.
Here we go.
The title. Titans collide. One falls.
Well, we would hope so. At least we know it's not a double death.
Yeah. Alright. Let's go.
The crystalline dome materialized between dimensions, a perfect sphere where neither Kryptonian sunlight nor Viltrumite stellar radiation could penetrate. Superman touched down on the mirror-like floor, his reflection stretching infinitely below. Omni-Man burst through the opposite wall moments later, his cold eyes immediately locking onto the symbol on Superman's chest. Another costumed pretender playing protector. Nolan sneered, his voice dripping with centuries of contempt. How many worlds have you doomed with your weakness? Clark's jaw tightened, instantly cataloging his opponent. The barely contained violence, the predatory readiness, the absolute absence of doubt. I've heard about you. The lies you told your son, the people you butchered, you're everything I fight against. Their conversation ended in violence as Nolan exploded forward, his fist connecting with Superman's jaw with the force of a collapsing star. Clark twisted mid-flight, recovering, but Omni-Man was already there, driving him into the mirror floor with such force it cracked in a massive web. The Viltrumite's fingers wrapped around his throat, grinding his face into the fractured surface while snarling about purpose and weakness. Superman caught Nolan's wrist on the fifth strike, pivoting to drive his knee into the Viltrumite's solar plexus. The impact resonated like thunder. Clark pressed forward, fists connecting with jaw, temple, throat, in a blur that would appear as a single strike. His eyes blazed red, heat vision erupting point-blank into Nolan's face. The Viltrumite roared, slamming his forehead into Clark's nose with a wet crack. First blood streamed from Superman's nostrils as Nolan's haymaker sent him spinning. They collided again mid-air, trading blows that would shatter moons. Nolan's experience showed. He exploited microsecond openings, targeted old injuries, used Clark's compassion against him. When Superman hesitated for a heartbeat, the Viltrumite capitalized, twisting until Clark's shoulder separated with a wet pop. Superman cried out, his left arm hanging useless. Nolan pressed forward, hands finding Clark's face, thumbs pressing toward his eyes. I've done this to countless heroes across countless worlds. They all die the same way, believing their righteousness will save them. Clark's working hand caught Nolan's wrist, pulling it away. His heat vision erupted again. Sustained this time, carving across Nolan's chest, burning through uniform and searing flesh. Omni-Man howled, but didn't retreat, driving his knee into Superman's midsection until the heat vision died. They crashed to the mirror floor, rolling, each seeking dominance. Nolan ended up on top, hands wrapping around Superman's throat again, forcing Clark to see his reflection in the cracked mirror beneath. Bleeding, broken, about to die for a principle that means nothing. Your parents on that backwards farm filled your head with pretty lies. Superman's vision darkened at the edges, lungs burning for air. But staring at the S-shield on his chest, he thought of Jonathan Kent's calloused hands teaching him control, of Martha's voice reminding him that power meant responsibility.
Why did you say that name? I have to do it. I can't resist.
Of Jor-El's sacrifice. His hand stopped trying to break Nolan's grip and pressed flat against the Viltrumite's chest directly over his heart. "You're right about one thing," Clark wheezed. "I have been holding back." The heat vision that erupted from Superman's eyes was different, focused to a molecular edge hot enough to split atoms. It carved through Nolan's hands, forcing him to release his grip. In that instant of freedom, Superman's hand against Omni-man's chest erupted with the same terrible heat channeled through his palm, the full might of a yellow sun's power concentrated into a space smaller than a coin. Nolan's eyes widened in shock as the heat penetrated his Viltrumite durability. He brought both fists down, but Clark caught them with his good hand, muscles straining, bones creaking. The heat from his palm intensified, and Nolan felt something he hadn't experienced in 1,000 years. Genuine fear. His skin blackened, flesh cooking, the energy reaching toward his heart. "This is for every world you've destroyed," Clark said, his palm burning deeper through muscle, Nolan's screams filling the arena. "For every child you've orphaned. For your son, who deserved a father, not a conqueror." The Viltrumite's struggles weakened, his legendary endurance finally meeting its match. "And for making me do this." Nolan made one last, desperate attempt, bringing his knee up, but Clark shifted, taking the blow on his thigh. The Viltrumite's strength was fading, the heat having carved through his chest cavity, ribs blackened and crumbling. He could feel it approaching his heart, that terrible stellar fire that was the antithesis of everything his people represented. "Mark," Nolan gasped, something finally human in his voice. "My son. Tell him. Tell him yourself," Superman said coldly. "When you see him, in whatever hell is waiting for you." The heat reached Omni-man.
Oh, damn. Going Injustice Superman over here.
Apparently so.
Man's heart. The Viltrumite's body convulsed once as the organ that had pumped blood through his veins for centuries was instantly vaporized. His eyes, which had looked upon countless worlds with contempt, glazed over with the peculiar emptiness of death. His hands, which had crushed civilizations, fell limp. Superman held the position for another heartbeat, ensuring the job was complete, then pulled his hand away from the cauterized hole in Nolan's chest. Perfectly circular, edges fused to glass smooth perfection, a window through which the fractured mirror floor could be seen. The crystalline dome faded, its purpose served. Clark stood in the dimensional void, cradling his dislocated arm, looking down at what remained of Omni-man. He had won. The stronger combatant had prevailed. But as he looked at his hand, still glowing with residual heat, he wondered if Nolan hadn't claimed a different kind of victory. He had forced Superman to kill, had dragged him down to that brutal arithmetic where might made right. The last son of Krypton reset his shoulder with a grunt and lifted off, leaving Omni-man's body to drift in the void. A monument to the price of absolute power absolutely expressed. Behind him, the Viltrumite's corpse turned slowly, the hole in his chest like a terrible eye staring into nothingness. Superman flew on, carrying his victory like a scar across his soul, knowing he would never speak of this day. He had proven himself stronger. He had survived. He had won. And he would never forgive himself for it.
Well, that is disappointing.
Well, yeah. Unexpected or incredibly one-sided or both, but yeah. I don't know, man. I think Superman might go to the finals. Oops.
Who's he against now? Do we know?
All right. So, we are done with the quarterfinals because Kratos gets a bye.
Oh, yes.
Let me just fire up the summary. So, we have the semifinals. Sauron versus Green Lantern. And
Surely Sauron
I'm
wins.
not sure, but the chronicler really likes Green Lantern.
Apparently so.
He beat Vecna and he beat who did he beat? Fucking Illidan. But okay, fine, Illidan. He did beat Vecna though.
Yeah, that's...
And then the other semifinal, Superman versus Kratos.
That should be interesting.
Which is interesting, because Superman is kind of another god, and Kratos kills gods.
Yeah. Come on, Kratos. Do it. Do it, buddy. Please. Do it for me.
Yeah, we're all rooting for Kratos now, I think, because you dislike Superman because he beat your candidate, or Hilly dislikes him because he beat his candidate. Robust says, Shane, be glad your champion got a fair chance and at least had the upper hand for a bit. I swear this is too predictable. The winner monologues then gets his ass kicked. Do you mean the loser monologues?
It is doing the kind of like the pivots a lot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really like the pivot.
Yeah. The loser, yeah. All right, let's get started with the semifinals. Green Lantern versus Sauron.
The emerald platform materialized in the void between dimensions, suspended in absolute darkness. Hal Jordan touched down as shadows coalesced into Sauron's armored magnificence. 9 feet of black plate radiating ancient malevolence that made the Green Lantern ring scream warnings directly into Hal's consciousness. "You're just another tyrant in fancy armor," Hal said, his ring cycling through incomprehensible threat assessments. Sauron's voice emerged like grinding millstones. "You bear a ring of power, mortal. How amusing that you believe it makes you my equal."
Oh, yeah, true. I forgot about that. They both have rings.
And Sauron is the Lord of the Rings.
He is the Lord of the Rings, yeah. If he doesn't win this, I'm fucking flipping the table.
The Dark Lord raised one gauntleted hand, and Hal's ring burned cold, its connection to the central battery flickering like a candle in a hurricane. The first exchange erupted faster than thought. Hal's instincts manifested a shield just as Sauron's shadow-born mace swung with mountain-collapsing force. The impact sent Jordan sliding backward, boots carving emerald furrows. Before he could counter, tendrils of absolute darkness wrapped around his legs with terrible intelligence. "Your ring draws upon will. I am will incarnate, the architect of domination itself." Hal pulled harder on the ring's power, transforming the shadows into emerald chains that multiplied mid-flight, hundreds becoming thousands, each reinforced with determination. They constricted around Sauron with diamond-forging pressure. The Dark Lord laughed like brass bells tolling in reverse. The chains corrupted from within, green bleeding to yellow, orange, red, following the spectrum backward as Sauron's influence invaded the constructs themselves. They exploded outward, as crimson hate forcing Hal to desperately barrier against his own corrupted energy. Every construct became a potential weapon for his enemy. Fine. He'd keep it simple. Hal rocketed upward, unleashing pure beam attacks that had punched through Manhunter vessels. Sauron raised his mace, and reality bent around him, splitting the beams like water around stone. The Dark Lord's armor plates separated, revealing the eye beneath, a window into the fundamental forces of tyranny itself. The eye's gaze fell upon Hal, drowning him in visions. He saw himself standing over the Justice League's corpses, ring blazing yellow. Saw Coast City burning by his hand. Saw himself accepting Sauron's shadow ring, becoming Earth's emperor. Each vision attacked his sense of self with terrible authenticity. You've been Parallax. You've tasted true power. Why pretend to be less? Hal's construct armor flickered. Ring charge plummeted, 90%, 70, 50. Sauron's mace reformed with burning script that hurt to perceive, descending to split atoms. Through corrupting visions, Hal heard his own voice, words repeated in mirrors after every failure. I'm not fearless, because I never feel fear. I'm fearless because I feel it and choose to fly anyway. His ring flared, catching the mace inches from his skull. The construct hand corrupted immediately, but Hal poured more will into it, accepting the loss, refusing to stop fighting. He looked directly into Sauron's eye and began the oath. In brightest day, in blackest night. Shadows poured from Sauron's armor, each carrying whispers of despair. The platform cracked under metaphysical pressure. No evil shall escape my sight. 20% charge. Hal's costume frayed, green light bleeding away, 10%. His hands moved in practiced motions, gathering every remaining photon into a single point. Sauron recognized the gambit too late. The mortal was converting life force itself into ring energy, a technique guaranteeing death regardless of victory. Beware my power, Green Lantern's light! The explosion erupted from Hal's soul, a supernova of pure willpower turning the void green. Sauron's power rose to match it, domination and determination existing in perfect opposition. Then Hal did something unprecedented in Sauron's ages of existence. He stopped fighting the corruption entirely. Instead, he embraced it, pulled it inward, and fed it directly back into his ring. The paradox of using corruption to fuel purity created a feedback loop even a Maya couldn't control. The ring, burning green shadow fire, manifested one final construct. A simple spear of absolute will, neither pure nor corrupted, but something entirely new. Hal, body already discorporating from energy expenditure, drove forward with everything remaining. Sauron's mace met the spear, holding for an instant. Then the spear pushed through, not overpowering, but existing in a state Sauron's ancient mind couldn't comprehend. Will without dominion, power without corruption, sacrifice without despair. The spear punched through chestplate, through the eye, through the Dark Lord's very essence. Sauron's scream shook reality's foundations as his form began unraveling.
This is bullshit.
See, I told you he was doing the pivots too much. You can't just let anyone lose.
This is bullshit. Chronicler.
Yep. This is the Chronicler fucking up. He is just wrong, I think.
robust is telling Monica how she did in the tournament.
Should we pace through the 2 fights? That'd be funny.
Oh, that would be funny. Yeah, maybe I'll do that later. Yeah, I'm not happy about this.
But like Green Lantern is dead. He is dead.
Yeah, well, let's finish.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 minutes left.
Millennia of accumulated power dispersing into void. He reached out, trying to drag Hal into oblivion with him. Hal, more ghost than man, grabbed Sauron's hand and pulled him closer, driving the spear deeper. His whisper carried absolute conviction. Evil always thinks everyone else is pretending to be good. You never believed someone would actually die to stop you. With his last will, Hal detonated the spear from within Sauron's essence. The explosion tore through the Dark Lord like light through shadow, each emerald wave unwinding another layer of existence. Sauron's armor cracked, revealing nothing but deeper darkness that scattered like ash in cosmic wind. His final words were lost in the sound of his own unmaking, ancient evil reduced to dispersing particles of malevolent thought. Silence fell. Where Sauron had stood, only fading shadow motes remained. Hal collapsed to his knees, uniform gone, replaced by flickering green remnants clinging to his dying form. Blood ran from eyes, nose, ears, the price of channeling power beyond mortal limits. Seconds remained. His body burned from within, but watching Sauron's last traces dissolve, Hal smiled. His ring, cracked and powerless, slipped off and shattered against the platform. In his final moment, vision darkening, Hal saw a familiar green glow in the distance. Another ring seeking a new bearer, carrying the memory of a man who faced ancient evil and chose to burn rather than kneel. His last thought was satisfaction. He'd kept his oath. No evil had escaped his sight, not even evil that predated his universe. The construct platform held his body momentarily, then dissolved, letting Hal Jordan drift into the void. Victorious and dead, his sacrifice ensuring Sauron's corruption would never spread beyond this nowhere place. In death, he achieved what life never permitted. He had become incorruptible.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I think that is utter bullshit.
Well, yeah, this is another Vader moment though, where he did clearly win. So even though he died, so he is in the final.
I don't want him to win.
We might get a DC
really
final.
don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really
hopefully
wish.
it
I really
doesn't.
wish Green Lantern doesn't win. That would kind of dumb.
That would be shit.
Like, no one expected Green fucking Lantern to win, but here he is in the final.
I respect it, but like
You might get a DC final though.
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of
We got a lot of dual deaths.
chat. Hang on. Ah, fuck. Let's fire up the summary for the next one. All right, Superman's penultimate challenge. Can Kratos defeat Superman and avenge all of our candidates, basically? We're all against Superman. Not really. I'm not, but I like Kratos more. Yeah, let's see all the chat.
Oh shit, if it's Superman versus Green Lantern, the two people we hate.
Yeah. Yeah, so robust brings up an interesting point, but we do have a thing in the prompt saying like you shouldn't give
Yeah.
heroes the win just because they're
We
good.
specifically guard against that.
Yeah.
Because I noticed it was doing that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see what Kratos can do. I believe in you, Kratos. You got this.
The obsidian plateau stretched endlessly between dimensions, its mirror surface reflecting swirling nebulae as the only light in this void beyond worlds. Here stood two beings whose existence defied natural law. Superman, Earth's greatest protector, and Kratos, the ghost of Sparta who had slaughtered gods across pantheons. The Kryptonian's eyes held uncharacteristic hardness. Kratos had butchered Olympian refugees in Metropolis, children among them, finally exhausting even Clark Kent's legendary mercy. Kratos gripped the Leviathan axe loosely, the blades of chaos hanging at his sides, their chains clinking softly. His scarred lips pulled back.
He didn't have the axe against the Lord Ruler. He's upgraded.
No, yeah, no, he didn't. Even without the axe, he won against the Lord Ruler.
Back in contempt as Superman spoke of justice and judgment. Another god playing at mortality, the Spartan rumbled. I have heard such words before, Kryptonian. They always come before the killing starts. Superman launched forward at invisible speed, the obsidian cracking beneath him in spiderweb patterns. But Kratos had fought Hermes, had learned to read divine swiftness. The Leviathan axe met Superman's trajectory with explosive force, sending both warriors skidding backward. The Kryptonian's heat vision carved molten trenches through the platform as Kratos rolled aside, the blades of chaos whirling to life. Superman caught one chain, the metal glowing cherry red in his grip, but the second blade sliced across his shoulder, drawing blood. Both warriors paused. The blades had tasted Olympian ichor, and even Kryptonian flesh was not beyond their bite. The battle became catastrophe given form. Superman's Arctic breath met the Leviathan axe's frozen fury, creating a blizzard that flash froze air into falling diamonds. Kratos channeled the rage of Sparta, divine fury shattering the frozen air and sending cracks racing for miles across the obsidian. They collided repeatedly, each impact creating shockwaves that would level cities. When Superman lifted Kratos into the stratosphere to rob him of leverage, the Spartan's blades extended impossibly far, wrapping around Superman's throat and yanking him into a devastating headbutt that staggered the Man of Steel. They crashed back down, leaving a crater that exposed swirling chaos beneath, mathematical impossibilities that hurt to perceive. Patterns emerged through violence. Superman's speed advantage met Kratos' millennia of combat experience, muscle memory anticipating attacks before conscious thought could process them. The Spartan's weapons struggled to inflict lasting damage on Superman's near-invulnerable form. Cuts healed in seconds, bruises faded before forming. Yet when Superman attempted to grapple directly, believing his superior strength would prove decisive in close quarters, he gave Kratos exactly what the ghost of Sparta had been waiting for. As Superman's hands closed around his throat, Kratos seized the Kryptonian's wrists, using Superman's own momentum as a fulcrum. Centuries of wrestling gods allowed him to redirect the force perfectly. The sound of Superman's wrist breaking echoed like a gunshot across the plateau, and Earth's champion cried out in genuine pain. The blades of chaos erupted from Kratos' back like hellish wings, wrapping around Superman's arms and throat simultaneously. The Kryptonian's heat vision carved molten scars across Kratos' chest and face, but the Spartan had endured the fires of Hades itself. With a roar from Tartarus' depths, Kratos pulled the chains tight, while driving his knee into Superman's solar plexus with enough force to crack the platform beneath them. Superman struggled with planet-moving strength, but Kratos had positioned himself perfectly, the broken wrist compromising the Kryptonian's resistance. The divine chains glowed hotter, biting deeper into invulnerable flesh, blood flowing more freely as Kryptonian vitality met ancient Greek violence. "You gods always believe your strength makes you righteous," Kratos growled, face inches from Superman's as the chains tightened inexorably. "I have shown every pantheon the truth, that gods bleed, that gods die, that gods are nothing but arrogant children playing with mortal lives." Superman's famous blue eyes showed the dawning realization that he might actually lose. His strength...
Yes, come on, Kratos. I think we're all rooting for Kratos at this point. Oh, rip Shane. All right. Shall I pause? Oh, there he is. All right.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
What was that? Shane?
Oh, oops, I was muted.
Whoop.
Idiot. Whoopsies.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, no, my college Wi-Fi just decided to stop. It just crashed.
Yep.
So I'm on my phone one now.
Yeah. But yeah, we're all rooting for Kratos now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who else? Like, there's no one else really remaining. Like, Green Lantern's already in the final, so...
was failing.
Yeah.
The combination of mystical chains, broken wrist, and relentless assault finally overwhelming even his incredible resilience. The end came with brutal efficiency. Kratos released the chains, suddenly causing Superman to stumble forward, gasping. Before recovery was possible, the Leviathan axe materialized in the Spartan's hand, its blade glowing with Fimbul Winter's endless winter. The strike was decades.
What was that?
Its blade glowing weird. With Fimbul Winter's endless winter.
Fimbul Winter's endless winter. What? What the fuck?
Like a D&D homebrew item.
It does, yeah.
The strike was decades of practice distilled into a single moment. The axe bit deep into the side of Superman's neck, its frozen edge meeting flesh already weakened by divine chains. Superman's eyes went wide, his hand reaching up to the wound as impossibly red blood poured between his fingers. He tried to speak, tried to move, but Kratos was already in motion. The ghost of Sparta seized the Man of Steel by his dark hair, yanking his head back to expose more of the wound. With his free hand, Kratos drove his fingers into the gash created by the axe, feeling the alien anatomy beneath, so similar to human, yet fundamentally different. His fingers found purchase, and with a sound like tearing leather amplified 1,000-fold, Kratos began to pull. The obsidian platform cracked and shattered beneath them as Superman made one last desperate attempt to resist. His heat vision flickering weakly, his fists striking with rapidly diminishing strength. But the Spartan had committed to the kill, his entire body leveraged into the motion, muscles that had torn apart gods and titans straining with the effort. The sound that filled the realm was wet and horrible, tissue separating, bone cracking, until with a final, definitive motion, Kratos tore Superman's head from his shoulders. The ghost of Sparta stood slowly, holding his grisly trophy aloft as the Kryptonian's body collapsed onto shattered obsidian. Blood pooled around the corpse, reflecting nebulae like a macabre mirror. With deliberate ceremony, Kratos drove the severed head onto a jutting obsidian spear, leaving it as a monument to this battle. Another god had fallen. Another self-proclaimed protector shown the ultimate truth, that no amount of righteousness could protect against the brutal mathematics of violence. The ghost of Sparta retrieved his weapons and walked away across the shattered platform without looking back. The obsidian plateau remained silent, except for the slow drip of Kryptonian blood, a testament to the day Kratos added the last son of Krypton to his pantheon of the slain.
Fuck yeah, let's go, Kratos.
Well done, Kratos.
The fuck is this word salad? Philip, you need to learn to spell salad. It's D, not T. Yeah, well done, Kratos. Justice for Goku. Indeed. All of our candidates have been avenged in that one battle. And now?
Yeah, I'm all in on Team Kratos now.
Any song suggestion for the final fight? This one seems pretty good. Yeah. Seems suitable. Yeah, let's go. Let's just do the full battle for the final, just like last time. It moves so much faster once you move past round 1.
It really does.
Like, even with that extra match, we would have finished in like 20 minutes. So let's do this, shall we?
Let's get in.
Green Lantern versus Kratos.
The emerald aurora blazed across the scarred wastelands of Thanatos Prime, a dead world where the bones of ancient titans jutted from crystallized blood seas like monuments to forgotten violence. Hal Jordan descended through the rust-colored atmosphere, his ring's energy field rippling against the planet's toxic winds. The Guardians had detected an anomaly here, a being of impossible rage whose very presence warped reality's fabric. Kratos stood atop a mountain of skulls, each one the size of a temple, his pale skin stark against the crimson sky. The blades of chaos hung at his sides, their chains wrapped around forearms thick as tree trunks, still glowing with the embers of Olympian forge fire. His eyes, those terrible amber pools that had
He's
witnessed the
dropped the
death
axe
of
again. It's done.
pantheons, tracked the green light's approach with the patience of a predator
He doesn't need the axe.
Yeah, no. That'd be overkill.
He's flexing. You've got this, Kratos. Come on.
who had stalked gods. "Turn back, warrior." Hal's voice carried across the desolation, amplified by his ring's power. The lantern touched down 30 feet away, his uniform immaculate despite the journey through space, his jaw set with the determination that had faced down Parallax itself. "Whatever you're seeking here, whatever rage drives you, it ends now. The Guardians have marked you as a threat to universal order." Kratos' laugh was the sound of grinding millstones. Another self-righteous deity comes to pass judgment. His voice carried the weight of centuries, each word saturated with contempt. "I have torn the wings from angels, ripped the hearts from titans, and painted Olympus red with divine blood. Your masters should have sent an army."
Yes.
Divine. Points for style.
The ghost of Sparta moved first, his body exploding forward with speed that betrayed his massive frame. The blades of chaos whirled in deadly arcs, their chains extending impossibly far, seeking flesh to rend. Hal's ring flared, creating a barrier of pure will, a green fortress wall adorned with the faces of every person he'd sworn to protect. The blades struck with the force of colliding planets, sending spiderweb cracks through the construct. Hal's mind raced through calculations. This wasn't just another strong alien. This was something else. Something that had the weight of myth behind every movement. He reshaped his defense into offense, the wall becoming a massive cannon that erupted with concentrated willpower. The blast caught Kratos mid-leap, driving him back through 3 of the Skull Mountains, each impact creating craters that exposed the planet's molten core. But Kratos had endured worse. He had been impaled by the blade of Olympus, crushed by titans, and dragged through the depths of Hades itself. Pain was an old companion, one that only sharpened his focus. He erupted from the rubble, his body wreathed in Spartan rage, that divine fury that had once made even Zeus hesitate. The very air around him ignited, reality bending under the weight of his wrath. Impressive, Hal admitted, constructing a battalion of green warriors, each one a memory of Earth's greatest fighters. But rage alone won't. Kratos tore through them like parchment, his bare hands ripping apart constructs that could withstand nuclear explosions.
Go, Kratos, come on.
Each destruction sent feedback through Hal's ring, spikes of psychic pain that made the lantern grit his teeth. The Spartan was learning, adapting. He'd noticed that destroying the constructs hurt their creator. The battle escalated into something cosmic.
Is that true? Is that how it works?
I have no idea.
Yeah. We really need to learn more about Green Lantern. Like, part of the reason why we hate him so much is because we don't really know much about the character. Maybe he's a really cool character, you know?
Yeah, like it could be all perfectly lore accurate. He could be just this strong, but
Yeah.
we just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason we put him in tier 2 is because when we asked the AI, like, hey, where do we put him? He was like, oh yeah, put him in tier 2. He's really strong. You know, and we were like, really?
It was right.
Yeah, he was right. We were like, really? Is that true? Like, he can't be that strong. No, apparently he is. But Kratos can do it.
I think.
Should put Kratos in tier 3, man. Fucking
Oh,
go
God.
against Unicron.
Kratos versus the God Emperor of mankind.
Yeah.
Hal took to the skies, raining down judgment in the form of emerald meteors, each one guided
that's
by
just
his
cheating.
indomitable will. Kratos responded by calling upon the souls of every enemy he'd ever slain, their spectral forms rising from the ground in a tide of vengeance that climbed toward the heavens. The two forces collided in an explosion that cracked the planet's surface, revealing chambers where elder things had been imprisoned eons ago. Hal Jordan had fought beings of immense power before, Sinestro, Atrocitus, even Necron himself. But Kratos was different. Where others relied on cosmic energies or alien abilities, the Ghost of Sparta weaponized pure distilled violence. Every movement was economical, every strike designed to kill. He didn't fight to subdue or capture, he fought to destroy utterly. The Lantern created his most ambitious construct yet, a perfect replica of Earth itself, complete with its gravitational field. He brought it crashing down upon Kratos, the weight of an entire world.
Holy shit. Okay. Just bring down
Oh my God.
bring down a planet on a dude. Yeah, sure.
Pressing the Spartan into the planet's mantle. For a moment there was silence. Then the planet construct began to crack. From
Yeah.
within, a roar that predated language itself. Kratos emerged, his body burning with the combined might of every Olympian power he'd stolen. The wings of Icarus spread from his back, the golden fleece gleamed on his arm, and in his hands the blades of chaos had transformed into something more terrible. They pulsed with the power of the fates themselves, able to cut through the very threads of existence. Hal's ring began to speak warnings.
Okay, he leveled up.
Is that a thing?
That was a level up. I don't know.
Goddamn, man, you're the Kratos expert here.
Warnings he'd never heard before. This being had killed concepts, had murdered fear itself when he slew Zeus, had destroyed war when he gutted Ares. The ring's database, which catalogued threats from across the universe, had no classification for something that could kill ideas. They met in the air, Hal's aura blazing like a green sun, Kratos ascending on wings stolen from divinity. The lantern formed a sword of pure will, its edge sharper than the space between atoms. Kratos caught it between his palms, his hands bleeding golden ichor as he held it inches from his face. Their eyes met. One pair filled with the hope and determination of humanity's greatest protector, the other containing nothing but the promise of ending. "You fight for order," Kratos growled, his grip tightening on the blade, cracks spreading through the construct. "I am what comes when order fails, when justice becomes tyranny, when gods play with mortal lives like toys." The blade shattered. Kratos' hand closed around Hal's throat faster than thought. But the lantern wasn't finished.
Oh, fuck.
His ring created 1,000 needles, each one penetrating the Spartan's body at pressure points that should have paralyzed any living being. Kratos barely flinched. His other hand grabbed Hal's ring arm, and with a twist that had once broken Hercules' skull, he shattered the bones from wrist to elbow. Hal screamed but maintained focus, the ring responding to his will despite the agony. A bubble of hard light expanded from within Kratos' grip, forcing the Spartan's fingers apart. The lantern rocketed backward, his shattered arm already being encased in a green cast construct. He needed distance, needed time to... The blades of chaos pierced through his construct armor, one through his shoulder, the other through his thigh. Kratos yanked, and Hal Jordan was pulled from the sky like Helios had been pulled from his chariot. They crashed into the ground with the force of a bombing run, Kratos on top, his weight driving the blades deeper. "Your will is strong," Kratos admitted, his face inches from Hal's. "But I have broken the will of Titans." His hand closed around the lantern's ring finger. "This trinket gives you power. I took power from gods with my bare hands." Hal's eyes widened as he felt Kratos begin to pull. The ring's connection to his very soul screamed in protest. With his good arm, he grabbed Kratos' face, channeling every ounce of willpower directly through his palm. Green fire erupted from the Spartan's eyes, nose, and mouth. Any mortal would have been vaporized. Any ordinary god would have retreated. Kratos simply pulled harder. The sound was wet and final. Hal Jordan's finger separated from his hand, ring and all. The green light died instantly, leaving only a man in a torn uniform, bleeding from multiple wounds, his power severed. Kratos stood, examining the ring as it flickered and died on the severed digit, its connection to its chosen wielder broken by the very concept of violence itself. "You were a warrior," Kratos said, and for the first time there was something approaching respect in his voice. "But you relied on borrowed power. I became power." Hal tried to speak, to make one last defiant statement, but
Weird delivery, but good line.
Yeah. Not George's finest.
Kratos' hand was already moving. The ghost of Sparta grabbed the lantern's head between his palms, his thumbs finding the eye sockets with practiced ease. This was how he had killed Poseidon, how he had ended the god of the sea's reign. Hal's scream cut through the desolate air as Kratos' thumbs pushed deeper past the eyes into the skull itself. With a final surge of that terrible strength that had toppled Olympus, Kratos pulled in opposite directions. The sound was like splitting wood, but wetter. Hal Jordan's head came apart in the Spartan's hands, brain matter and blood painting the ancient ground in patterns that resembled the very sectors of space the lantern had sworn to protect. The body convulsed once, twice, then was still. Kratos dropped the ruined pieces of humanity's greatest Green Lantern, his amber eyes already scanning the horizon for his next objective. The ring attempted to fly away, to seek a new wielder, but the ghost of Sparta caught it mid-flight. He examined it for a moment, this weapon that channeled will into reality, then crushed it between his fingers. The ring exploded in a final burst of green light, its destruction sending a ripple through the emotional spectrum itself. On Oa, the Guardians felt Hal Jordan's light extinguish, snuffed out by something that predated their core, something that had been killing divine beings since before their institution of universal order had been conceived. Kratos walked away from the corpse, leaving it for the carrion birds of this dead world. He had killed gods, titans, and now a guardian of universal peace. Each death only confirmed what he had learned in his long, blood-soaked existence. Power, no matter how noble its intention, no matter how bright its light, could always be extinguished by someone willing to embrace the darkness necessary to survive. The ghost of Sparta disappeared into the wasteland. Another legend added to his endless chronicle of death, while Hal Jordan's blood soaked into alien soil, his will finally, permanently extinguished.
And Kratos does it.
Thank you, Kratos. Thank you.
Thank fuck.
I think he was very much the underdog. He kind of came out of nowhere.
He was, yeah, just like Aragorn last time.
I don't think
Oh.
will have an underdog.
Lag.
Are we good?
I heard none of that, so you might want to repeat whatever you were saying.
I was saying I think the top end of tier 3 is just a lot above the rest of tier 3, so I don't know if we can have an underdog there. I think there's going to be some very obvious favorites
Who knows?
on. True. AI is weird.
Yeah. But, oh my god, if Green Lantern won, I would have been so pissed.
Yeah.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was tier 2. And what a glorious tier it was. Thankfully, the green bastard didn't take it all.
He came really close,
He
though.
came so close.
When it said, like, the thing about the needles, I thought that was his pivot, and I was like, no, you're not doing this again.
No, nothing can beat Kratos. The full reports will be on the website tomorrow. I will put up the link. And I don't know, maybe we'll tweak the prompt a little bit.
Yeah. I think maybe put in, like, one and only one combatant die.
Yeah, we have like it's literally the first mandate. It's the mandate of inevitability. But
Is it only one, though? Because, like, one
oh
combatant
right,
dies, but
yeah. I might. Yeah, I'll look at it.
the AI is semantics again.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that. But that has been the stream, ladies and gentlemen. As the God of War theme plays in honor of our champion, I'm happy he won.
Yeah, I accept
that was
that.
good.
He
That
did
was
well.
good. Yeah. Better than Green Lantern, anyway. We shall see you again next Sunday for Tier 3, and that one has some... If you thought this was crazy and, like, cosmic battles and divine forces, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tier 3,
Yeah, tier 3
is
insane.
ridiculous. Yeah. Like, it's literally just... It's transcends physical fights. It's just concepts and ideas. So, you know, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But that has been it for today. Thank you all for watching and for cheering on your candidates. I am sorry to literally everybody, because everybody lost their bets.
Yeah.
Last time Philip won by sheer luck. This time, no such thing happened. Someone should have bet on Green Lantern, apparently.
And Kratos.
Yeah, and Kratos. Man, I should have bet on Kratos. I didn't have enough faith. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and join us again next week. Oh, join the Discord as well. Monica is now on the Discord. No more professors, you know. We've grown tired of the professors.
Yeah, sadly they were getting a little repetitive.
Yeah. Like Higgins was fine. He wasn't butting in when he didn't need to.
Just too much. He's too aggressive.
Barrington, yeah. A little too much.
Every conversation is about him at all times.
Yeah. Like, oh, the Chronicler? Fuck you. Another AI. What do you mean another AI? I'm the Chronicler. Obviously, we're talking about me. Who else would you be talking about except me?
It's very in character.
It is very in character, but it's, you know, it's a little annoying. Maybe we will workshop a different version of Barrington that's slightly softer. But yeah, that is it for today. See you again next time, and good night.
Thunderstep Gaming.